Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, Drake, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like, fuck it, where my mask at? The mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side manage shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built full of smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound, and I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show, homie. I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, air will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and air will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you holler in cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live, got your clap with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was whooping, first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out, nigga, like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, well fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger, nigga, it'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead ops. They ever cross the line? The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
All right, family. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, man. Good Tuesday afternoon, man. It's a beautiful day out there today, y'all. Beautiful day out there. Wow. Do y'all know of another God that can make a day like this? Bring him up here. Let's talk to him. I only know one God that can do this day, man. Do this, man. Right? I mean, man, look how beautiful it is outside. I was just outside riding my bike. I rode my bike down to Figueroa in Manchester. I was just hanging down there for a minute. You know, I just rode my bike, man, just to get a bike ride in before I came up. I feel so much better, man. But I just was so thankful as I saw all the homeless and all the prostitutes. And is prostitute the right word now? Is that the right word? Can we still use the word prostitute? Or do we have to say sex worker? Right? I don't know. What are we supposed to say? Because I don't want to be insulting, but we know what they're doing down there, right? You know what I mean? So, but I'm just looking at their condition and I was saying, man, what have to happen for somebody to get in a condition where they're going to sell their body for the bare minimum of existence? And all the things they got to go through, threats to their health, threats to their, threats to their physical body, what they got to go through to get to that point where they say, you know what, F it. Don said sex worker is probably correct. Okay, well, maybe, I don't know, Don, but maybe you're probably right. I don't know. I just, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't look down on nobody, Don. You know what I mean? I don't say, okay, well, you doing this, so you just a bad person, right? I don't do that. I just look at their condition and I thank God that whatever happened to them didn't happen to me, or if it did happen to me, I was able to survive it. Shout out to Vagoda, by the way. But anyway, I'm gonna check everybody in just a second. But anyway, yeah, man. I mean, it's a beautiful day, right? Beautiful day. In the Quran, people was complaining to God saying, hey, you know, it's raining. I forgot the exact. Y'all, you know, I'm the paraphraser, but I forgot the exact situation. But these people was complaining about the day, right? They were saying it was not a good day, right? So God said, okay, you make a day. He said, you make a day. I think, and then he got down there, he said, well, don't you have to make a day, make an hour? Okay, you ain't make an hour, make a second. I mean, what can you can't improve on this, right? So give thanks to, let's thank God that our brother Pagoda, maybe we don't agree with him in policy, but he is our brother. And we want to make sure we agree. We're thankful that he's still, doing well enough to be able to check in every now and then. Shout out to Pagoda for that. Okay, y'all. But I just want us to think about these things, man, because I was riding my bike and I'm going down, and I'm going down Figueroa and I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm going down all these different streets, man, out here in LA. And I see all these people, man, that are doing so much worse than I am, not because I'm so much smarter or God loves me more, but just because they fell away. They fell away. They decided that something else was calling them more than God, something else. They felt like something else was better than God's way of doing things, right? Because, see, when you're working with God, you have to have patience, right? You can't be like, God, hurry up, man. I got stuff to do. God, hurry up. We know we can't do that to God, right? If you're kind of with God's program, okay, now you on God's program. And God will get with you when he feel like this is the right time to do stuff. He knows, right? He knows, right? I remember me and a brother, man, we there you go, Vaughn. There you go. Me and a brother, we joined the nation together. Well, not together, but I mean a year apart from each other, right? I joined first and then he joined behind me. And so but we was always together, right? And so we immediately went into the eventually went into the martial arts class, right? And there's all kind of different martial arts. There's all kind of people in the nation teaching all kind of different martial arts. But anyway, we went to a martial arts program in the nation. And so we were both at the same level, right? We were both white belts. That's when you just walking through the door, you're a white belt, right? And so we both got promoted to yellow belt, right? So for my promotion, man, they kicked my butt, man. They kicked my butt. And in front of me, like the next week, my partner, they handed him a yellow belt. They just handed it to him, right? So my teacher, my grandmaster, he said, how do you like that your buddy got he got his yellow belt too? I said, I didn't understand at first. I thought he was going to take the same whooping I took, right? But I said, hey, man, you're the grandmaster. You know better than me. So you must know who needs what to get to where they're trying to get to. So he just started laughing and he walked away. I said, man, because I got my butt beat, right? All my belts, man. I took a huge beating. I think the black belt was the one that was the one that they really, that was about an hour of just a serious ass kicking, man. We're going to say, what are you now? Black. Yeah, I'm first dan black belt sensei, but man, that was the one that really, I thought the other ones was a bad ass kicking, but the black one was, man, really, man, just, about an hour, man. Seemed like 3 hours, seemed like 5 hours, man. You just out there getting your ass kicked, getting punched, kicked, flipped, thrown. You're on the ground. You got to grapple with people, man. I mean, just attack you, man. you just stuck there, and you can't really fight back. You got to just take it, right? So, the whole thing is you survived it, right? But anyway, I got off the subject. What I was really trying to talk about is the thankfulness at judo, karate, jiu-jitsu Pagoda. All right, so the really thing I was getting off the subject, but the thing I want to get at is we need to be thankful, right? I always tell my people, my family people, the home team, I try to tell them, let's be thankful. Let's be thankful, right? Because we never know how stuff's gonna turn out, man. We never know how stuff's gonna turn out, right? You never know, right? Here we are sitting here and look at Pagoda. Pagoda's in a situation, man, where all hell is breaking loose, right? All hell is breaking loose. You know what I mean? We're lucky. We're here. We're blessed. We're here where, we got, bad stuff going on, but all hell ain't breaking loose. You can still go home, go in your refrigerator, get a Sprite if you want one, right? I'm just saying, we got to be thankful. Be thankful, man, where you at. And shit, there's some people out there, they wish they was in Pagoda's situation, right? They situation 1,000 times worse than Pagoda's, right? And Sudan and all this, Libya. They situation is even worse than that, right? So, let's just be thankful for what we got. Ask God to help us get through it and to give us the wisdom and guidance to move forward and progress and, be able to be a beacon of light to give other people inspiration to do good things as well, man. Right? All right, y'all. Let's get to the business, man. All right. So first of all, I want to thank Brother Eric, better known as 16 to Life. Shout out to 16 to Life, man. Shout out to Brother Eric, man. Good dude, man. His page is blowing up. Go on over and give him a try. He has some really funny stories over there, man. Good stories, man. But really just a good dude, man. Good ambassador for the streets as far as trying to get these young men to kind of look at this prison life a little different as opposed to looking at it like they look at a lot of them like graduating high school, right? I'm going to get my degree. Or graduating college. I'm going to get my degree in being a Negro, right? I got to graduate I got to go to prison. I got to go to Pelican Bay. Then I got to go to, Tracy. And then I got to go to, what I'm saying? They got all these prisons that they want to hit, right? Not understanding what's going on in the politics. And all these prisons got their own set of politics, right? But anyway, that being said, man, thank you, Brother Eric. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Brother Eric for letting us use his music. Going over to his page, 16 to Life, and check him out. See if that is the kind of content you can get down with, man. I'm going to bring Brother Eric down. Thank you, Brother Eric. All right. Who else? What else? Oh, we got to check everybody in, man. We got to check everybody in. And then we got to talk about this poly lifestyle. We got to think about this poly lifestyle. Patrice's favorite subject, right? Yeah, y'all really want to get to Patrice cussing? Y'all think Patrice was cussing on Sunday, man? Y'all really want to get Patrice cussing? Man, start talking to her about poly lifestyle, man. She is like, hopefully, man, if Patrice get a minute, man, she can join us over here, man. You jump on all our heads for doing this topic, right? Man, but what do y'all think, man? What do you think about these sister wives? What do you think about these brother husbands? What's up with that? Right? Well, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it today. We're gonna talk about it, y'all. We're gonna get with the business today. All right. So first thing we want to do is check everybody in, man. First one on the docket is, of course, Don Frank. Shout out to Don Frank. Glad to have you in the building, sis. Appreciate you. Don Frank is the one. You see that Cash App down there? Don Frank is the one that told me, Clarence, what you doing, man? Put the Cash App down there. I'm like, Don, I ain't trying to get money. I ain't trying to live off everybody. Don, like, no, Clarence. Clarence, you depriving the people who really want to, just kick in from kicking in, man. You holding them back from doing that. I didn't think about it like that, man. So shout out to Don, man. Plus, Don's just a good sister, man. Good sister. My Caucasian sister, good sister, man. Who else in the building? Risa Neal's in the building. Shout out to Risa Neal, our resident sniper. Okay, those of y'all that's out here trolling. I noticed that we don't have too many trolls over here yet. We don't have too many trolls over here. But the reason why is because we got parents. We're out here and we are going to go over some with some sneak attacks. And so give us a few minutes to kind of go over some things with you. Like I said before, we were taught by our teacher, Dr. Moses Powell, our teacher was taught by Dr. Moses Powell. Our teacher, we were taught by Professor Urban Muhammad. Peace, blessings to him and his family. And so we are his students for years and years and years. Anyway, we're going to teach you a couple of methods on how to deal with sneak attacks. And so without further ado, we're going to get into the lesson. First of all, I want to teach you how to, every punch has a line on it. It's a line. So I'm going to teach you how to get off the line. That's how you don't get hit, is getting off the line. Test. Okay. See, I'm just stepping off the line. He's punching. If I stay here, I'm going to catch him, right? If I stay there, I'm going to get that. Oh, yeah. That's going to be it. But I see him loading up and I step off of it, right? I don't even.
All right. Thank you, Risa.
That's just a natural reaction for me to just tap it off. I don't need it. I don't need his punch way over here.
All right, let's get back to business, y'all. Let's get back to business. All right, let me check everybody in, man. Let me check everybody in real quick, man, because I like to check everybody in. Okay, so we were checking in. Who? I think we stopped at Vaughn. We already got Don. We already got who else? We got Vagoda. Shout out to Vagoda. Vagoda is our Jewish brother, man, straight out of Israel, Tel Aviv. Shout out to Vagoda, man. Glad you're able to join us, man. Good to see you. Who else in the building? Oh, the administrator, Sister Annie. Excuse me. Wait a minute. You talking about this poly stuff? Wait a minute, Brother Clans. I'm gonna have to pull you on the carpet, brother. Who else is in the building, man? Who else is in the building? I think that's everybody who wants to be checked in. Oh, no. There's the Great Pill. The Great Pill. Shout out to the Great Pill, man. If you ever get a chance to check out the Great Pill podcast, get on over there and check out the Great Pill podcast, man. Get on over there and check him out. Okay. Sound is the source. Sound is messy. Oh, everybody's calling it. That's what Risa called me. Oh man. You guys can hear me now, though, right? Okay, good. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's everybody that wants to be checked in. Okay, look, y'all. So let's talk about it. What is let me put something up here, y'all. What's the benefits of the poly life, man? What's the benefits of the poly life? Yeah, oh man, I'm always got this up here like this, man. What's the benefits of the poly life? Like, what's the benefits of it? I mean, why would somebody want to live the poly lifestyle? Well, obviously, it's an ego boost, right? It's an ego boost, right? You have multiple people who are willing to submit to a socialization that you are placing on them for the right to mate with you, right? That's an ego boost, right? That is vanity, really. At the base of it is vanity, right? You feel better about yourself because, you know what I mean? You got multiple people vying for your time at the same time. And it's not like multiple people competing. They're not competing for your time, right? They're working together to give you this feeling, this sense of superiority. Right? They're in concert with each other. And that can make you feel good, right? You feel like a pimp, right? It's pretty much the same ideology as a pimp. The pimp has all these people working in concert with each other to give him money, right? He feels good when he gets the money from them. Well, the poly person feels good when they have the people not competing. They're not competing. It's like the pimp. The hoes ain't competing with each other. He might create a little competition, but really, truly, they're not actually competing with each other. They're not like, I'm going to give him money and I'm not going to let you give him money. No. They're actually going to all give him money. Well, in the poly lifestyle, the other people are going to give you attention, time, and sexual attention, right? They're going to do it at the same time or at different times, but they're going to, with the understanding that other people are going to be doing it as well. They're not in competition. They have a role. And in this role, they're gonna play their position. They're not trying to turn the apple cart over. They're just trying to get in where they fit in, right? So I want to show y'all something. Now, there was this let me show you what I'm talking about, right? Well, before I get to that, let me say this. Shout out to Demetrius, by the way. He said poly relationships seem like too much. You know what, Demetrius? Poly relationships, as well as open marriage, because I'm gonna talk about open marriage too. Poly relationships and open marriage, they're like the mountain of ice cream, right? In theory, sounds good. In theory, right? In theory, but they don't tell you the other stuff that go with it, right? How many flies gonna have been on top of that mountain of ice cream, right? I mean, they don't tell you the stuff that's gonna go with all of this other stuff, right? Same thing. It's just like when it's just like I said, just like the pimp. When the pimp goes out and recruits, you know, he don't put on the flyer that you're gonna risk your life out there and it's gonna be cold sometimes. And you're gonna be. He don't tell that part. He's saying what they sell the whole is you on a winning team, and you know what I mean. You may not love yourself, but you can love being on my team. I love you. I want you on my team. Just play your position. All right. It's basically in the poly lifestyle. Right. Same thing with the open marriage. Now, to me, there's a difference between an open marriage and the poly lifestyle. There's a difference between those two. Right. Because an open marriage is an oxymoron. That makes no sense. Right. The poly lifestyle, that makes sense, right? I have one woman, and now I got another woman wants to join in to the party, right? Not to compete with this other woman, but to be in concert with this other person to satisfy me or give me the pleasure that I'm looking for, and giving me that pleasure gives them pleasure, right? That to me is the poly lifestyle. The open marriage is an illusion. At least in my opinion, the poly lifestyle is more, it's not an illusion. It's people agreeing, it's adults agreeing that I'm going to do this. I'm going to sacrifice my desire because in my opinion, this is my opinion, y'all. We as people are not born, to be with one person. We're not born like that, right? We're born to adapt to the situation around us. If the situation around us allows us to be with one person, then we'll do that. if the situation around us, the environment, designates that the men can have more than one woman, then that will happen. If the situation sets up where a woman can have more than one man, that's typically the one thing I would say that's probably less apt to happen, even though it's with the numbers it can happen, but it's less likely to happen. Now, there's a reason why. Why? Because of the male appendage. The male appendage, right? Clarence, what you talking about? Well, certain things I don't want to get Vaughn all upset. If I say penis, Vaughn's gonna get on the phone and call me and say, "Hey, Clarence, don't say that." But we gotta be real, Vaughn. We gotta say some stuff, man. We gotta talk. Family, can we talk, family? Can we talk? All right, let's talk. Okay. There is, to have sex, we have to have erections, right? Clarence, don't say that, Clarence. We have to, though. We got to talk about it, man. Erection starts where? In the brain. The erection starts in the brain. Am I correct? Am I wrong? Somebody go get Candy and tell her to tell me I'm wrong, right? Erections start in the brain, right? What happens in an erection when an erection occurs, right? What happens? There has to be some stimulation somewhere. We'll go to no, we're not. Has to be first. You have to have the stimulation, right? Then your body, you are as a person, right? Risa, I remember that. Let's talk about sex, baby, right? But the stimulation has to happen in the mind first. So I have to see the stimulation, then my body have to respond to it, right? Now I'm gonna get deep for a second, so y'all hang tight. Hang tight. Put your grips on, right? I'm gonna hang tight. Well, we ain't got there yet, Pagoda, but you're right. Right? Now, what has to happen for this erection? Well, first of all, I got to be stimulated, right? That's why you try to tell your wife, hey, can you wear this? Can you do these things? Why? Because that's going to keep me constantly stimulated so that when I see you or see you in certain situations, that's going to affect the erection, right? But a lot of times, and I'm sorry, women, I got to go through this. A lot of times, women don't get that. They think that erection is automatic, and it's not. It is for young men because they got so much more hormones going through their body. But especially when you start getting upwards of 35, 40, 50 years old, you got like 25% of those same hormones going through you, right? So you're gonna need more stimulation than, a 19-year-old kid who's walking around with a heart on all the time, right? So we have to constantly be prepared to create this environment of arousal, right? For your spouse, right? You have to be able to constantly create this environment of arousal, because whether you like it or not, you're in competition with the other women of the universe, right? But we married, Clarence. He signed the contract. That means he shouldn't be looking at nobody. Well, he probably won't if you can connect to what arouses him and deliver that to him on a regular basis. You probably won't. But when a woman, Clarence, you ain't no counselor. I know. I just got 33 years in, going on 34. What do I know? Right? I'm just talking. But when you don't deliver that arousal and you say, well, I gave you these kids, right? So you try to make the man have an erection based on feeling sorry for you or some type of obligation. You should be sexually aroused for me because you married me, right? That's ridiculous, right? Erections don't work that way. Erections work purely on arousal, not right and wrong, what's good and bad. Erections don't work that way. Right? Right? So it's best that you as a woman try to maintain that high arousal at home, right? So the man don't have to, because see, one thing about men is men can get aroused without looking to get aroused, right? You can be aroused by not even looking to get aroused, right? I keep telling you guys about the story about the man that he at home watching TV, watching the football game. Wife said, "Hey, brother, can you go get some bread? I'm about to put the dinner on the table and I forgot the bread. Can you go get some bread around the corner?" He gets in his car, goes up there. Now, they didn't have sex last night. He wanted to, but she was too tired, right? Or she just not keeping herself together like she used to. And he's just like, he wants it, but he's not interested in her like that, right? Goes and gets in his car, goes up to Figueroa Street. And what happens? He sees one of these little sex workers out there and he pulls in the car. Next thing you know, it's an undercover police, right? Or the police catch him. It's a little sting or whatever, right? Oh, yeah. Just follow me into this hotel. Follow me into the hotel, right? Follow me into this motel, right? Pagoda said, at least no one here blames men that he talks about this issue. So erection has to happen. Erection is it's you see the stimulation, you internalize the stimulation, your body, your mind, the brain decides whether it's aroused or not. The brain decides whether it's aroused or not based on its standard of arousal, right? Because we as men, we all got different standards of arousal. We got some similar things that's going to arouse us, right? Seeing somebody's breasts or seeing somebody in a sexual situation, something like that, or getting with the idea that a sexual situation maybe can occur or whatever. But beyond that, beyond the obvious, we have all kind of different things where we have standards of arousal in our brain, right? Especially as we get older, right? So, I see the stimulation. I denote that the stimulation is on my scale of arousal. What happens? What happens? Hormones, like Pagoda said, hormones are sent out to prepare the body for a possible sexual situation, right? Electrical impulses are being sent out through the body, right? The penis receives these electrical impulses and begins to fill up with blood. A possible sexual situation may be occurring, right? So that's pretty much how the erection occurs. Now, what could stimulate me? Well, what could stimulate me is the fact that I have not only one person that wants to have sexual encounter with me, but another person, and they both know about each other, and they're not competing with each other, try to remove the other person. They're working in concert with each other, whether it's at the same time or at different times, but they working in concert with each other, right? Because most of the time, let's be real, y'all. Let's be real. Of course, Rita. Happy birthday to you, sis. Happy birthday to Brother Bolo too, man. I think he just turned 157. So shout out to Bolo TV. But anyway, let's talk about that. But so the benefit is you having this more of a, you get the vanity of having multiple people not competing with each other, but working in concert with each other and for your sexual pleasure, right? Whether they're together at that time that they're working in concert, or one person works at this time and the other person gets tagged in and they go in and they do their thing, right? The question is, that's a benefit. That's a benefit of it. Another benefit could be if you all living together, all the money comes in, right? If you have sat everybody down and said, okay, look, we all gonna live together. We all gonna work. We all got to pitch in financially to this situation, right? You can have the finances come in, right? And you can be able to maybe maneuver those finances to do some things, right? So those are some benefits. Then there's somebody that should be always available to, deal with the children, right? Because everybody, well, I'll say this. Yeah, there's always going to be somebody. There should be always somebody available to deal with the children if there's children involved, right? So these are some of the things that might be a good thing, right? But let me introduce y'all to a family that is poly, right? Let's see. Here we go, y'all. Here we go.
On my channel or our poly channel, but I'm like, F it, y'all need to hear all of this because y'all been asking for it on my main channel. So here we are. People have been reacting to us. People have been making videos of us. People been talking, copying us. Ooh. Let me reintroduce myself, my husband, and my boyfriend. So hi, hello, I'm Passion Jones. You've been following me for 10 years. If you haven't, hi, how are you? I am a curvy, poly, unapologetic, beautiful woman in power. Okay, I'm a boss. Not over them, just over myself. I am very taboo. I'm a very taboo.
Ooh. That's it right there, man. That's I'm trying to tell you. These boss women, you need to really think about that one. You really need to think about that one, man. These boss women, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, you get with a boss. I mean, man, I'm talking about for a romantic relationship. I'm not saying she's a bad person. What I'm saying is boss women typically make romantic relationships very, very difficult, right? Because of the way male nature works in a certain direction, and boss women push back on that nature, right? They push back on the nature. As you can see here, she got two men here, right? How can she has a husband and a boyfriend, as she's about to explain, right? A husband and a boyfriend, and they live together. They live in the same house. They have sex together, right? I think both of them are bisexual. The men, both of the men are bisexual men, right? Right. Now, am I saying they're bad people? No, I'm not saying it's bad people. What I'm saying is it's certain things you got to see up front that you got to say, okay, you a boss? Yeah, I'm a boss chick. Okay. They should be run right out into the friend zone, run right out into the pasture. Oh, okay. Hey, I'll let you tell me about your relationships, but I'm not going to get in one with you because I need a woman that's more on the line of what I'm looking for, and as far as I can work with her. See, Nothing with a woman being a boss. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it's bad for relationships with traditional men. Traditional men are not going to get along with a boss chick in a relationship. They're just not going to do it. And if you're not traditional, cool. Like these guys are not traditional dudes, right? You got your husband and your boyfriend living with you with your kids. I mean, I don't think you get more non-traditional than that, right? Vaughn says she's an adulteress. Vaughn, that's not for us to decide, right? That's not for us to decide, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Somebody else already made that decision, right? That this is what she's doing, right? But she decide, hey, I'm doing it anyway. Okay. Only thing we could say is, hey, you know, if you want to live different, there is another way to live it. There is another way if you want to live it. So anyway, the sister has a husband and a boyfriend. They all live in the same house. I'm gonna let them explain, but I just wanted to get out there, man. Boss chicks, if you're a traditional guy, now if you're non-traditional, the boss chick situation may work, right? It may work for a time. I just don't see, because guess what? The nature of anything is going to come out at some point. The nature of a man is going to come out at some point. The nature of a woman is going to come out at some point. And if you're with somebody where the nature of them don't come out at some point, are you really getting the best of them? All right, let's get back to this chick, the curvy lady and her husband and her boyfriend.
Influencer. I've made my space here in this YouTube world pretty prominent. You can look back on all of my videos, but I felt like I just had to reintroduce myself because, one, I haven't been on here in quite some time, and I just want y'all to get to know me and my life once again. And this is my husband.
Hey, I'm back.
He's back. He's back. If you've been following me, we've been married for 10, 11 years now. We had our first video together. I'm pregnant and all of that. You can look back on it. It's cute. And we've been poly for 4 years. And we've had our trials and tribulations being poly. You can check that out on our podcast. We've been through a lot. And we have our beautiful, amazing boyfriend, Asur, here.
What you talking about, Risa? What you talking about? What you mean you want to buy men? That's what buy men are in now, right? Right? Buy men are in, right? Will Smith, Dwayne, Martin, Puffy, right? I thought bisexual men were in. I don't know. I think, you know what it is? I think Risa, if it's if you're traditional or not, right? If you're non-traditional, then you ain't feeling no bi man, not in a relationship, right? But if you are traditional, you're not feeling that. But if you're non-traditional, bombs away, right? Everything goes. Vaughn said, I just call it as I see it. I know you do, Vaughn. I know you do. But we gotta remember, y'all, these are people, and even though they out here doing all kind of chicanery, man, we are supposed to try to guide them into maybe a better situation if we can, or at least suggest it to them, right? If they feeling it, they feeling it, right? But the one thing we ain't supposed to do is drop the hammer on them, right? They still are people, right? They just confused, or they have an issue, or they decide, hey, look, this is what I want to do, or whatever. I mean, whatever drove them, right? We don't know what these people grew up in to drive them to the point where they want to live like this, right? Everybody's had stuff happen to them as a result of their childhood, right? And they try to reach back and deal with it as an adult, however they can, right? I couldn't do it because, like I said, it's for the obvious reasons. I'm a man, and most men are territorial. Why, Clarence? Why men are territorial like that? Because men have to be territorial. You can't fight a war and you can't defend yourself from your enemies if you're not territorial, right? You can't. You got to. If you have a good society and invaders come in, if men ain't willing to fight and die for their family and their country, then the invaders gonna come in and set up shop, right? Right? They took these people, man, they took them away from their land, man. They were very, very beautiful people, had done so many good things, right? And then invaders came in and took them as slaves. And then they said to them, hey, sing us of the songs of Zion that we heard you singing when we pulled up in our boats. We ran up aground in our boats. Sing us of the songs of Zion. And they said, how can we sing songs? How can we sing those songs in a strange land? How can we sing songs that we sang in our homeland in a strange land? Like we was in a whole different mindset when we were singing those songs. Now we slaves. And you want us to sing those songs and sound happy like that? That don't make no sense. Paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing. You want that scripture for real? Go to Bolo. Go to Bolo TV. But what's the point? What's the point? Our people, we in a strange land, so we're doing strange things. Some of us have adopted some strange understandings, right? So we got to fix ourselves. We got to get ourselves together, right? A lot of this is strange things. We need, but we so caught up, man. We just doing it, right? All right, so let me get back. John said, I feel the same, Risa. I don't have an issue with what people do for me. I'm good, though. Right? Vagoda said, women are also territorial, but it's undoubtedly stronger in men. Man, I'm telling you, listen, man, women are, right? Women are territorial. But women are not going to line up on the battlefield and fight 100,000 men. Only men are going to do something like that. Only men are going to do that. I'm talking about en masse. Yeah, you might have one or two women, that'll say, "F it, man. Give me an M16 or give me whatever, right? Whatever they're using out there on the front line." But for the most part, it's men that's going to do that, right? Men that's going to say, "I got a wife and kid at home. I'm fighting you for ultimately, so you won't run in through there, grab my kid and grab my wife, and do what the Germans did to the Polish, do what the Germans did to the Jews, they just running through all these women and then throwing them out, You know what the Germans used to do? They would rape they would arp the women and then they would throw them in the river to kill them. I mean, the Germans, that's why so many Germans deleted themselves, especially the women, when they knew that the Russians was on their way to Berlin. They just started deleting themselves because they didn't want the Russians to do to them what they had done to the Russians. That's why so many Japanese people in World War II, they just deleted themselves, man, because they kept the Japanese government kept telling them, if the Americans catch up to you, they're gonna do you like the Russians did the Germans did the Russians. They're going to be running through all of your girls and then they're going to just off them, right? So they had an island over there, man, where people, rather than be captured, the Japanese people were just jumping off these cliffs, right? So we're not going to get captured so you can just desecrate us? No, we'd rather die on these rocks down here, right? They have to fish all them people's bodies out of babies and everything, right? But that's usually what women and children will do. Men will usually line up on that front line. right? Because they have the territorial thing in them. So being territorial like that will have men wanting to have women. Now, he will want I want you to have a relationship with just me. But now here's a trick about men, where men feel like, especially if they have a strong sex drive, they'll feel like, okay, I got enough for you and you and you and you, right? And because I'm territorial, I don't want you with nobody else. I just want you with me, but I'll be with all these other people. And if we can have everybody working in concert, it's cool. Shout out to Patrice, by the way. Patrice, we're talking about your favorite subject, the poly life, right? We talk about your favorite subject, Patrice. All right, so anyway, I want y'all to remember that men are very territorial, very, very territorial. That wars have been won, wars have been fought because men are territorial, very territorial. Women are territorial too, but they typically are not going to line up on that line to fight 100,000 other men. Men are usually going to do that, right? Don said, Bro C told us we're going to school on poly life. Yeah, sit down, Patrice. You're in school. We're gonna learn about this poly life. All right, let's get back to this lady and her husband and her boyfriend.
Not to be confused with that other dude.
Blow past it.
I'm Basura, openly bisexual male, poly as well. Met these two amazing people, and now we're all together.
And we're here to answer some questions for y'all, since y'all want this Q&A immediately. So it's only right for us to bring it to y'all, okay? Immediately. Also, we have a channel here on YouTube. You probably ain't ready for this. It's going to be clips of our podcast, but it's the censored cut version because, of course, we can't do too much here on YouTube. You already know. So you can just check out our channel, but we're going to do a lot more on that channel. We're going to be doing reactions. We're going to be just doing videos like this, question and answers, but you'll see 2022 is up from here. So let's just get started. First and foremost, I'm bringing up the questions on Instagram. I asked y'all about a few months ago and we're finally getting to it, but these are basic questions that we always get like every single day. Kid you not. So the first question is, Sin City, who convinced who first?
Wait.
Who convinced who first?
I'm guessing they
what?
think that y'all or you, or I'm guessing in this case, they think she convinced you into being okay with this.
Did I convince you?
No.
No, there was no convincing. There was no begging. There was literally
If anything, there was introduction, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
I'll think about it.
It's more of a conversation that we had.
Okay. All right. Now, you ain't going to have to convince somebody on the poly lifestyle if they think they're going to get some benefit from it, right? I mean, if you think you're going to get a benefit from it, why not, right? This guy said he said I'm bisexual. So bringing in another bisexual guy, that's a plus for him, right? The average guy is not bisexual, right? So bringing in another guy for the average guy, that's going to probably be a problem, right? Same thing with the average woman. The average woman is not going to want another woman involved in concert, working in concert with her, right? Patrice said, well, teach me a thing or two. Sit down, Patrice. I'm going to put the link out and I'm going to have you guys come up here, but I wanted to teach a little bit first before I had you come up here. Because that physically, you're right. Although women can still be in the Army as trainers and pilots and hackers in management positions and other positions that don't require physical strength and are not from the front, the fight is unlike men. Yeah, see, well, this is what I'm talking about, Vagoda. Women are territorial, right? But they are not like, they are not like, I'm going to line up on that front line and charge over that hill. The average woman's not like that. The average man is like that, right? If you feel like, hey, if they come to you just like they came to the Minutemen and said, hey, if you don't fight with us, All that you working for over here, all this land that you homesteading and all that, that's gone. And they're gonna come in here and take your wife, take your kids, take your cows, they're gonna take everything. You gotta fight with us. Right? That's how men are gonna be like, yeah, okay, I gotta do it. I have no choice. Right? But I think women will fight in a different way. I'm not saying they're cowardice. No, that I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they're not as territorial where they will line up on that line when they see, 100,000 soldiers from invaders lined up on that hill. It's going to be mostly men that's going to line up on the other side of that. Just saying. But that's what I'm saying. We need that. You need that in men. Now, how does it reflect in romantic relationships? Well, it reflects in romantic relationships because men are going to feel territorial over the women that they're engaged in, right? And they're engaged with physically. They're going to be territorial over that space, right? But now let me tell you, when things break down, okay, so things break down when you have a breakdown of the natural order, right? It's a natural order that, men are usually attracted to women, women are usually attracted to men. That's a natural order, right? So when that natural order is broken down, right? When now you have men attracted to men, you have women attracted to women, and, you got the commingling of all that type of situation. Now you have a breakdown, right? So now you have men that are not necessarily territorial, because to be territorial, it would violate their desire to be in a polyamorous situation, right? You can't be territorial if you want multiple sex partners. That's going to create a conflict and difficulty, right? This is what happens in a lot of, now this is the main thing, in my opinion, what happens in a lot of poly situations where a person they get introduced to this poly lifestyle and they suppress their natural desire to be territorial as a man. They suppress that. But at some point, a trigger happens that opens the gate. Opens Pandora's box. Pandora's box is open, and now the person that person realized, I want this person off of myself. But you can't once you introduce multiple sex partners to a female, it's hard to get everything back in the box, right? Because it's not the sex partners that's actually what the female is actually getting out of it. In my opinion, what she's actually getting is the attention of other people. That is very intoxicating for not only women, but men as well. But I think at some point, no, as a man, I understand that at some point, enough is enough. You know what I mean? Enough is enough. At a certain point, you say, well, okay, there must be other things in life than this, right? But I don't know if women do that. Good question. Maybe Patrice will come up here and tell us, or any Risa, what, I don't know. Right? All I know is I have not seen where something like this is introduced to a female and the female says, you know what? This is not what I want. I'm very much not interested in this. I would rather just be with just you. I think at the bare minimum, what the female would say, if she did that, she would say, I don't want to be with anyone that wants this lifestyle. And if you want that lifestyle, which it seems like you do because you introduced it to me, I just have to leave this situation. I never can see where the poly lifestyle is going to last for a long, long time. Hey, but you got the Kevin Westleys out there, right? Who knows? We'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully, the good thing about that is it's all adults, right? These are all adults, and they all agreeing to do this. I'm just saying, with the nature of men, it may be difficult to do this situation, and with the nature of how women are at a certain point in their lifestyle and their understanding at a certain age, it's going to be hard to do it the other way as well. When we get older, we want security. We're looking for security. The polyamorous lifestyle, it's a constant reminder that no one is secure. Clarence, I know poly people and poly lifestyle, and they've been together for a long time. Okay, maybe. They might be the exception to the rule. But generally speaking, I haven't seen this. And the open marriage situation, oh, forget about it. I ain't never seen the open marriage work. Shout out to Mr. Lucario, but I ain't never seen that work. How can you care about somebody and do the open marriage? How can you really, really care about somebody? You can only care about somebody theoretically, in my opinion. Clarence, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Vaughn said, bro, Clarence, in the Nation of Islam, what would they call this type of relationship? Just curious. They would call it crazy. They would call it crazy, right? They would call it crazy. Now, I will say this, Vaughn. They would never turn them away. They would never say, hey, y'all can't come up in here. What they would say is after a while, they would say, okay, look, we've had you in here. We talked to you. We explained to you how we do things up in here. Now, if you're going to continue to live the way you live in, then you got to make a decision. Either you're going to stop doing that, or you're going to come, you're going to follow the program that we have, because you can't do both, right? Somebody at a certain point, somebody's going to sit you down and say that to you, right? They're going to say, hey, look, man, it's not working, right? But that's what they would do in the nation. I don't know what they would probably do the same thing in the church, right? Sit you down at some point and say, hey, the motherboard sit you down, or right, the deacons will sit you down. Say, hey, man, I know you doing your thing, man, but you doing it at a high level. Tone it down, right? All right, y'all. So let's look at it a little bit more. Let them answer this question, and then we got to move on, man, because we got to talk about Adam 22, open marriage, right? Adam 22, open marriage. These open marriages, the poly lifestyle, and these open marriages. Let me put that down there, by the way, right now. Let me fix that. Let's fix that. I don't see no benefits in open marriage. I see benefits in the poly lifestyle, but the open marriage, no. I don't see no benefit there. But that's me. If one of you guys want to come up here, matter of fact, let me do this. Boom, 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 boom. If you want to come up here and tell me, hey, man, this is how a good relationship. Now, all right, so let's look at a little bit. Let's look at this a little bit.
Just had a conversation about it, and from there we just took it from there.
Yeah.
There was no convincing or no persuading, so no.
No, there was no convincing. There was a lot of communication, a lot of talking, a lot of understanding. And, a lot of women always ask me, like, how did you get I didn't get
me to do anything.
Him to do nothing.
She respects my opinion, how I feel, as you should in a relationship. So no, it was nothing like that.
Are y'all still looking for another woman? LOL, website _trader.
Yeah, we've addressed this on our podcast a few times.
Okay. Sister Annie said, I'm with family. Don't think I'll be able to come up. That's okay, Sister Annie. I don't think this is one of your topics anyway, right? That's okay. But we glad to have you in the building, sis. Okay, now I want y'all to pay close attention to what these people are about to say right now. They got a 3-person relationship, right? They got a 3-person relationship. I want you to pay close attention to what they're going to say right now. Now, that link, by the way, that link is for people that got something tell me that's good about poly or open marriage. Not for you guys that think, that have a problem with it, because I know you got a problem with it. I'm on people that say, hey, no, Clarence, this is great. You're missing the benefits, right? Okay. Now I want you guys to be very careful. Watch what these people are about to say. Watch this.
That ultimately, ideally, what we all want is to be in a quad, 2 women, 2 men. So yes, we are still looking for that last partner.
Yes, we are. Fried Cheese 26. What a name.
I started getting hungry.
All right, we didn't eat yet.
You know what I'm saying?
Did either of you ever expect to be in this type of relationship? I guess I'll answer first. I felt like I had the possibility to, but I didn't think send us back 10 years into the past. No, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, no.
For me, 10 years in the past, this would have been something I thought more so would happen, just really not me dating. But is it something that I had thought about and wanted? Sure. Yeah, it is. Because I've, pretty much been me this whole time. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So did y'all hear what they said? They said they want to add another woman to the situation, right? So they can have a quad situation. Okay, I'm telling y'all, man. Simon said, bruh. I'm telling you. It's like that mountain of ice cream. In theory, it sounds good in theory. But when you really get into the nuts and bolts of how they actually operate this situation, right? It gets very, very, and when you have multiple people in a sexual relationship with multiple people, man, anybody can bring their dominoes down, right? Anybody, any one person could have something happen or go through something and bring the whole house of cards down. Plus, what I was telling you about women in particular, men are the same way, but not as much, right? Because men, we come out the gate, we know we got to pay for ourselves. We know. We'll go to Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what they are. Well, I don't know. It may be kind of close. At least it's just adults here. But anyway, remember I told y'all, women in particular, at a certain age, they're looking for security, right? They're looking for security. They're looking to know that they're going to be cared for, and to have at least one person that's going to they can have that exchange of energy where we can walk into older age, and care for each other. You're going to care for me, I'm going to care for you, right? That's typically what women are looking for as they age, right? When they're young, a lot of times young women are all over the road, right? They flee, they can, they can do whatever they want, right? And promiscuity has been made to look fair seeming. How about that, y'all? Can I say it like that? Promiscuity has been made to be fair seeming. Whereas a promiscuous woman and a promiscuous man are looked upon in today's world as having some type of superior skill or knowledge or something like that, or attractiveness or something, where they are looked at as they have some type of, right? Because you hear guys like Fresh and Foot say, hey, you got to sleep with 50 women, 30 women, whatever, right? Before you get my respect. Why do I have to sleep with 30 women to get your respect? And what's your respect worth? And who cares if you respect me? I respect myself. That's the only person I need to make sure I got that person respect is me. Who cares? But a lot of our young men are running around out here trying to get other people to think of them highly because they think if enough other men, this is one of the things I had a problem with Kevin Samuels. Oh my God, Claire, you had a problem with Kevin Samuels. How could you? Kevin Samuels was perfect. This is one of the issues I disagreed with him about. Was he said that, oh, you got to be, all these other people got to think a lot of you so that you could be a high value person. Really? Don't nobody even know, Brother Clarence, but I think I'm worth $1 billion. Right? That's how I think about myself. But I don't need nobody to tell me that. I don't need nobody to say that. Because you know why? I know I'm worth $1 billion because this God of this universe have poured so much into me through other men and women that have come in his person to teach me, to guide me, to do things for me. White, black, red, yellow, all types of people done came in the person of God, man. They came to teach me. They taught me. You think I'm here because I just fell out the sky? Two brothers pulled me up out the gutter and said, we're not going to let you go back. I said, but I want to go back. I want to be a Negro. They said, no, we ain't going to let you be a Negro. You going to do this. I said, but I don't want to do that. He said, you're going to do this. And if at the end of this, you still want to do that, then we'll let you go. We'll drop you. But about halfway through, I said, wow, man, this is actually making sense. I didn't think this made sense, but this actually makes sense. Right? God is your best friend, man. God is your value is in God, man. And your value is in what you think about yourself. Right? I don't need no $1 million. I mean, that's fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad to have money. What I'm saying is the money ain't making me. It's me making me. You understand? It's the God. It's my connection, my plug into the God that makes me something. Right? But in a situation like this, it's vanity. And vanity, right? They said it's one of the 7 deadly sins. Why? Because you follow this vanity into a situation where now you're not following God no more. You following your vanity, and your vanity can mislead you because your vanity is connected to people that's not following God. You think this is a situation where they following God's teachings? Clarence, you think you perfect. I'm not perfect. I made plenty of mistakes. But what I always try to do is use God's word to pull myself back up. Fall down. Only time I fell down, man, I look back. Only time I fell down, it's like that poem Footsteps. The only time I fell down is when I let go of God's hand. I can do this on my own. Boom, right? Use God's word, pull myself back up, start getting cocky again. I can do this on my own. You get to a certain point where you say, man, wait a minute, hold on, man. Every time I do good, I'm with this God. Every time I don't, I'm not with the God. What's going on here? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's not this person. Maybe it's not my wife, not my kids, not my job, not my friends. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. But see, that's the part, man. We love these people. Remember when he said to it's a Lot. He said to Lot, hey, man, when you leave here, they said to Lot, hey, man, look, we're going to get busy here. So you need to leave right now. Right now. And whatever you hear, don't look back. Don't look back. You're going to hear a lot of stuff. Don't look back. But so Lot told him, hey, we can't, whatever, no matter what's going on back there, don't look back. Right? But Lot's wife, what did Lot's wife do? She heard all this screaming, hollering, heard all those explosions. What'd she do? She couldn't believe it. Sodom and Gomorrah was going up in flames, right? She couldn't believe it. She loved that place.
That was her home. She can't believe it, right? She had more love for Sodom and Gomorrah than God's word, the instructions that God gave her. So she turned on her heels. The Quran said, they turned on their heels. Right? She turned around, right? To see what was going on in her beautiful city, right? Now, here's the question. This is the thing that all people that get proposed this question have to deal with, right? These people show you their hand. Lot's wife showed her hand. Now, Lot had a decision to make at that point. I could turn around and look too and get turned into salt, or I could follow God and do what God told me to do. And for a second, man, he's like, man, my wife. But then he got back right and he said, hey, he said, man, I don't want to be no salt. I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be no pillar of salt. What's a pillar of salt, man? It turned into an actual pillar of salt. She just turned into something that just wasn't able. She turned into a human being that wasn't able to be to do anything. It wasn't no good. It warped her mind so bad they had to leave her there. They had to leave her there. Sometimes you got a decision to make when somebody say, hey, Clarence, I want to be I know we've been married for 30-something years, but I want to be in a polyamorous relationship. Right? That's that pillar of salt. That's them right there. They're not going to come back from that, right? It's a situation where when somebody turns into a pillar of salt, they're not turning back. Right? Once a person decides they're going to do this, they have their thinking of their head, they're going to do that. They have now become a pillar of salt. They have already made their line in the sand. This is what they want to do. Now, the question is for you, what you're going to do. Are you going to follow them and become another pillar of salt? Or are you going to stay on your own path? Sometimes we love these people, man. We love these people. We love them. So we don't want to leave them. I love this woman. But this woman got you all over the road, but I don't want to leave her. I love this man, but this man going upside your head. I know, but if he just see how much I really love him, then he will respond back to me with love. And here the man telling you, hey, I want to start doing threesomes. I want an open marriage. Pillar of salt. They ain't coming back from that, typically. So now you got a decision to make. Family, we got a decision to make. Are we going to follow this person into the gates of hell? What you mean the gates of hell, Clarence? I mean the gates of hell, where there's never a solution. Hell is a condition where there's never a solution for the problem, right? It's always this heat. You got another bill, but you ain't got the money to pay that bill. Then you get another bill, you ain't got the money to pay that bill. Then you get another situation, you can't deal with that situation. It's constant heat. It's constant heat coming at you. And you don't have a solution, right? You constantly have a person coming at you saying, hey, I want to do this poly thing. Girl, please, I ain't trying to hear that right now. Okay. But why do I say why do I call them a pillar of salt? Because at a certain point, when a person tell you that they want to have more than one sex partner, or they want to progress your sexual experiences to put it at another level, they're telling you before the storm starts, because either you're going to do it with them or they're going to do it alone. Right? Somebody that tells you, hey, man, I want to have threesomes, they're telling you up front what's going on. Simon said,
think it also confusing young people in the house. Yeah, that's definitely an issue. I ain't even got to that issue yet because they got kids there, right? That could be considered child abuse, right? Depending on how you think about it, right? If you're thinking about it as a traditional person, you're gonna say, "Wait a minute, that's crazy." Your mom's boyfriend is in the house. Okay, if you're gonna have a boyfriend, at least have your boyfriend outside the house. But they said, no, we want to have a boyfriend inside the house. The people are crazy. That's why I'm always telling y'all, man, this is a wicked world. This is a wicked world, man. Your wife can get caught up. You can get caught up. You could be married for 20, 30, 40 years, man. And your wife walk out the door and somebody just start throwing enough compliments at her, she can get caught up. Your husband, you could be married for 20, 30, 40 years, man. And you may think that everything is okay, but there's a deficiency somewhere. And then some other woman comes in and starts giving your man compliments. Then she gets his number. Then they start meeting for lunch. Then they start meeting for dinner. And y'all know what I say. First is lunch, then it's dinner, then the next thing, then it's a movie, then the next thing you know, it's pumping and sweating in the shed. Right? So people want to know, how do you make marriages work? How do you make long-term relationships work? How do you do that? You know what long-term relationships are like? Surfing. They're like surfing. You always got to be on a swivel, and you always got to be adjusting to the speed of the wave, how far the wave is from crashing, the velocity, the wind, everything. You always have to be adjusting for all these different challenges that come up. That's what that's what real marriage is like, right? You think a happy marriage, there ain't no problems, there ain't no money problems, there ain't no conflicts. Then of course, whenever you have multiple people, there are going to be conflicts in theology, right? And ideology, there are going to be conflicts there. Well, my mama did it this way. Well, my mama did it this way, right? At a certain point, somebody got to take control and say, okay, let's do it this way. Let's compromise, or we're not going to compromise. We're going to do it my way, right? Whatever. But somebody has to take control, right? That person typically going to be the man. Typically. But poly lifestyle, open marriage, I just think it's very difficult for the poly lifestyle. First of all, monogamous relationships are very difficult because we are not born monogamous. We are not monogamous people by nature, right? By nature, we are not monogamous. We have to grow into monogamy. We have to grow into that. We have to grow into that understanding that that is the best way to actually live in a society with so many different people. You have to be, monogamy is the better and safer way to do things, right? But you have to grow into that. Most mammals are not monogamous. Most of them are not monogamous. Most animals, period, are not monogamous. That's just the truth. All right. Anybody dispute anything I'm saying? Simon says, I can only take one pie at a time, start mixing, and taste a bit messy. Well, I mean, Simon, it's just like, man, confusion is when order has been interrupted, right? That is where confusion starts. If you have order and you have a way to do things that has worked for billions of years, millions of years, and you start introducing you start breaking that chain, now you're going to have, of course, you're going to have confusion, right? What do I do? Now, am I saying the guy's bisexuality is wrong? I'm not saying, I'm just saying I wouldn't be in a situation like that. I wouldn't. But I mean, I'm sure there's bisexual men that's married, that's doing, right? and they do their thing on the low, right? I just feel like, hey, you should just tell people. Really, I think most of us do things on the low because we got so much at risk, and we just looking for a particular thing, right? We're looking for a particular thing, right? Remember what I told y'all? I told y'all that relationships are not built on, they are chiefly built on utility. No, Clarence, relationships are built on much more than that. I'm sure the other things go into it, but the chief thing that relationships are built on is utility. What can I utilize from this person, and what can they utilize from me? That is the chief thing, right? Even in romantic relationships, utility, right? In almost every relationship, I don't see no other way. The only relationship that's not built on utility is the parent-child relationship. That relationship is not built on utility, and even that relationship is built on utility a little bit. But the child, of course, can't do anything functional for you. Something that you can see red-handed right there, right? Pagoda, I'm not bringing you up unless you got a push, or you in a disagreement with what I'm saying. So I'm gonna bring you up for just a second to find out what you're talking about. What you talking about, Pagoda?
First of all, how do you do? Second of all, don't call me sir. Come on. In any case, I have some. Relax. I am going to give you stuff about the conversation. First of all, you said that animals had their one partner, and first of all, tell that to the lions. For example,
animals have one partner. I said animals do not have one partner.
Yeah.
So most animals are not monogamous.
Oops. Yeah.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. Yeah. You also have animals that don't need males. For example, how you call it? The bug that it's like a fly that I forget the name of that bug. There is a certain bug that the female don't need only needs blood to have children, to have offsprings.
What is that? Mosquito?
Yes, mosquito.
Okay,
that's the bug.
Who is at the top of the food chain? The human or the mosquito?
It depends on where how do you look at that.
Okay, let me ask you this question. That should clear this up.
Yeah, the human. Yeah, it's the human. If you want to be serious.
Because
Also, I have something to say. I think that multiple partners of relationship, that's a wonderful way to spread diseases.
That's another thing. I didn't even go into that, but you're right, Magoda. That's another issue. I didn't even bring that one.
So I am touching the subject. That satisfy you?
Yeah, that does satisfy me. Now, let me ask you this: since you're over in Israel, let me ask you this: if in Israel are polyamorous relationships, is that common?
You mean let me just clear. When you say polyamic, you mean a relationship between one man and one woman?
No. Polyamorous means multiple women.
Okay. If you are not a Bedouin, then you're not going to see a lot of that.
Pagoda, wait a minute. I would think the more likely version you would see over there would probably be one man and multiple women.
In here, unless you're a Bedouin, you're not going to see this. You're not going to see multiple one man with a number of women, or if you're, of course, some kind of cultist.
Wait a minute. So you're not going to see men with multiple women,
unless you're a Bedouin.
Unless you are what?
A Bedouin. The only population that you have, of course, illegally. One man and a number of women is in a marriage are Bedouins. Of course, that kind of disgusting stuff is not recognizing, but still, some Bedouins do it.
What's a Bedouin?
What's a Bedouin?
Yeah.
It's an Arab that lives in the desert. It's what? Not exactly. It's a long-term story. Long-term. It's an Arabs that their history of they have a history of migrating from place to place. It will, you know what, you can type later what is about Bedouins in Wikipedia, and you can see for yourself. But that's the shortest stuff. Those are Arabs that were culturally lives in the desert.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to tell me about before? Because I'm gonna pull you down, bro. I appreciate you.
Oh, come on.
No,
Yeah,
because I really want people that are against what I'm saying up here. Thank
I'm
you, son.
against what
I
you're.
know
Look, I think that nobody's going to come to your show after me because no single person with a brain is going to be in favor of this nonsense of one man and a number of women, and that is like, excuse my language, you know what?
All right, bro.
In here, no woman here will agree to this nonsense, and actually, the woman is not.
Right here agreeing to it.
What?
Got a woman right here on the screen agreeing to it.
Huh.
They're looking
This
for
woman,
they're looking for a fourth person. They're looking for a fourth woman to put into this situation.
Oh, lovely. Switcheroo.
Yeah. So I want to talk.
You know what? I think that the husband is the one in the right. Yes.
Yes. The one with the.
I get a gay vibe. He looks like he's gay or something. I think a little bit.
That's the thing, right?
Maybe he's gay.
Wise people don't put things to a vote unless they know how it's going to go, right? So she went to him and said, "Hey, I think that we should introduce another man into the situation, and you could probably have some fun, and I could have some fun, right?" Since she kind of I'm sure she had the vibe that he was bisexual, right? Because they both are bisexual guys, right? The husband's bisexual, the boyfriend's bisexual, right?
Oh, lovely. What next they're going to do? Film what they're doing?
I don't know. I
was joking.
But here's the point. The point is can this work in a long-term situation? Can this work? Is this feasible? I say no.
No.
Okay, well, that's you. See, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to somebody who feels that it is.
Yeah, okay.
Or if you give me some information.
Okay, before you pull me down, I want to say to you one thing. I saw the video that we talked about what's going on here, our last video about it, and I want to apologize that I didn't answer you, you asked me again this specific question, and I didn't answer you because I was trying to get to something else. I'm sorry. I was sorry for being an asshole. Sorry.
I think we kind of gave you some grace on that one.
Yeah, I apologize. I looked at myself in the video. That I am sorry, and that's and of course I have a lot of things to update you about my position. Let's just say I am not going to get into it right now, but let's just say my position right now is way more better.
Okay, good.
In terms and my position of my mom and my parents as well.
Okay.
So see ya.
Let's try to have it not this Saturday, because I think we're going to have another topic on this Saturday, but maybe
I can. Say, do you have a Discord?
I did. I haven't been in it, but yeah, I did. I don't have one now. I'm not there. So you got to email me, Pagoda.
Yeah, I can email you. I also have stuff to email you, but like I said, my position is good now. I am back to North Tel Aviv because it's changed.
Good.
Yeah, and well, of course, but we can talk about this. But
yeah,
in any case, you know what? I have one thing I want to say about this woman. This woman is a cow. She's a cow.
Come on.
What?
That's not the issue.
This woman is doing this circus, and she's putting it. Clarence, you know what? I forgot to ask. this video is from YouTube or this is from
It's YouTube.
what?
This is YouTube video.
And that's supposed to be a report about them, or this is
No, it's just off of their channel. They have a channel about the lifestyle, and they
Oh,
talk
lovely.
about different ways to, you know, make it work. And people ask them questions and they answer. So it's just off their channel.
I hope that they don't have a lot of viewers, because this channel is not appropriate. That is not educational. That's for sure.
They got over 500,000, over 250,000 subscribers. So people are
Yes,
interested.
you're supposed to have 500,000, not this crazy woman.
Nah, we are never gonna have 500,000, man, because the people just don't want us, man. They don't want us telling the truth, and we try to tell the truth, man, and that's not gonna happen, man. But man, we got the one thing I like about me. I don't have that many people, but the people that I do have, everybody smart. We just gotta, you know what I'm saying, give them enough time to talk. But man, all like including like yourself, you know, everybody has some sense. You know, they're smart. You know what I mean? So now
Yes,
we
you
don't
have
all think the
aces.
same. We don't all think the same about everything, but we definitely got a lot of smart people. But brother, I gotta
Yes,
pull you
you
down, man. I gotta pull you down because I
Yes,
gotta get
yeah.
through this.
Ciao.
All right, man. We'll holler at you. All right, man. That was Fagoda, man. Shout out to Fagoda, man. Thank God, man. He's in a better place. Whew. I didn't want to get him started on this situation when we talk about this here, man. But I definitely got to talk to him, man, because he was in a real bad situation at first. But see, he said he's a lot better, so I'm glad he told us that. Tom said, I agree, man. We don't want no drama right now, right? No. Let's continue. All right, so we're talking about the sister, man, and she has the boyfriend and the husband over here, right? Both of them are both of them are bisexual men, right? So I'm gonna go out on a leap and say, not only are they frolicking with her, but they're frolicking with each other. How about that? How about that, Vaughn? Vaughn, did I do it? Was that good, Vaughn? I didn't say nothing bad, Vaughn. I said frolicking, right? So then he said, "Don't say never. Don't say never." I agree with that, man. I want to say never. You know, I would say people have good intentions, right? Right? People get married, they have good intentions. And they say, I would never cheat on you. I would never cheat on you. But reality, under the right circumstances, almost anybody will follow their desires. Really. Almost anybody will follow their desires. And then when you have a wicked world like this that constantly seducing you by your desires, man. Come to the casino and get some money. Come get these escorts. Come get this food. Come get to this restaurant. Come get this eat. Come get this. You are missing out because you ain't doing this, and you missing out. You got to drive this kind of car, and you got to have this kind of house, and you got to have this kind of job. This world is so wicked, man. They're constantly telling you you ain't good enough because you ain't got the right job, you ain't got the right house, you ain't got the right car. Who cares? Who cares? I mean, no, don't take me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We all want to provide security for our family. We all do. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's not really who you are. That's something you're trying to get accomplished while you're here. You are you. That's why I try to tell these men, you ain't competing with nobody else because you ain't in competition with the next man. You're only in competition when you're dealing with somebody that's immature, with a girl that's immature. Now you got to compete for her. She's looking for people to compete for her attention. A real woman is going to judge each man by himself. Little girl's going to say, well, he got a better job than him, and he got a better job than him, and so therefore he got a better car than him. That's what little girl's going to do. Because they don't know no better. A real woman's going to understand this dude could have a better car. He's still a pookie. Underneath that suit and that car and that nice house and that nice job, he's still a pookie. Right? But here we are. I agree with Vagoda, man. We should have thousands of people in here, right? But hey, blessed are the 7 that are here, man. Blessed are those of them that are here now to get what God is leading me to say to you, right? Because I ain't trying to take nothing from you. I'm trying to give. Y'all are giving me the energy, and I'm trying to give it back to you, right? Oh, Sister Annie said, I was talking about you having 250,000 followers. We may get there, Sister Annie. We may get there, right? We may get there. Hopefully, if we do that, hopefully we can set it up to where, we can really be doing some big things. Hopefully. I wouldn't want that kind of following and not be able to do some good things, not be able to, reach out and do a food drive and do this and do that, right? All the stuff that Vaughn was telling us about. Yeah, we got to do a food drive. We got to do this, right? I would like to be able to do all that stuff, right? But most of our people, man, most of the YouTubers I know, man, they get 250,000 subscribers and they get the kind of money that kind of subscriber base is probably going to pull in. They done, right? I don't know, man. See, y'all got to stay on me, Sister. Y'all got to stay on me so I don't go to the Maserati shop. We get them kind of numbers. Done. I might go to the Maserati shop, done. Y'all have to stay on me. Brother Clarence, wait a minute. What happened? I thought we was working for the community. I am. See, I got this Maserati. I can drive through the community. Beep, beep, beep. All right, y'all, let's get back to it. Okay, so we're talking about the poly situation, right? Now, I want to tell you why most men are not going to be good. Most men are not going to be able to work with the poly situation. Most men are not. And like I said before, mainly is because they are very territorial. Men, we are territorial. And we have to be that way so that we can defend our families. We have to have that territorialness in us. Right? We have to, thank you, Vaughn. We have to have that territorialness in it. I'm going to defend my family to the death, right? Then it could broaden, I'm going to defend my extended family to the death. Then I'll defend my country to the death, right? But we have to be a certain type of way to be that way, right? And so sometimes we look at things from the same, women will look at us and say, what's wrong with y'all? Why y'all like that? Then there's some women that understand, okay, they have to be that way. Just like there's some of us as men that look at women. Why y'all so crazy? Right? Most men say, why y'all so crazy? But Minister Farrakhan taught us that women have to be able to be volatile. Their feelings have to be volatile like that, or they wouldn't have no children. They wouldn't have multiple children. They'd have one child and they'd say, oh, that was too much pain. I'll never do that again. Right? But Mr. Farrakhan tells us, hey, the female, it has to have that volatility. So she'll be like, oh, I was in all that pain. But then she look at that baby. She say, I love this baby. I'm willing to do it all over again. I love this man. I love this baby. I'm willing to do it all over again. Oh, that was so much pain. But I see this second baby. I'm willing to do it all over again. I'm willing to do it all over again. They have to have that volatility. So what comes with that volatility? They're not going to see it like a man. Man is cut and dry. This is this. A woman gonna say, wait a minute, that's my baby. Right? You being a little harsh on my baby. Man say, what you mean I'm being harsh? This is what it is. This is what it is. Right? Right? Now, I'm talking about the potty life, right? Let me move on to something else, man, because I want to show y'all something. I remember, I think y'all remember when I did this. I actually did a story on this. I did a story on Adam 22, right? I did a show on Adam 22, right? If y'all don't know Adam 22, he's the person that runs No Jumper, the No Jumper channel, right? They interview porn stars, prime stars. They interview porn stars, gangsters, sex workers, just different people that are hood famous. They're kind of hood famous people, right? So And so Adam 22 had got into the news a couple of months back because he let his wife, who is a registered porn star, have sex with this man right here, this black dude, right? All right, so we're going to listen to Adam 22, and he's going to thank this man for, being with his wife sexually, right? All right, let's listen to Adam 22.
Banging my wife, and
Oh,
I appreciate you banging my wife,
Oh my god.
and yeah.
Okay, so he goes, hey, thanks for banging my wife, right? This is an open marriage these two got, right? He says, hey, look, I want her porn career to explode, right? That is not a normal thinking process for the average man. That is not normal, right? The normal man doesn't say, hey, look, man, I want my wife's porn career to take off. The average man doesn't do that, right? But here, this man has done that, right? He has said, hey, man, he could tell this dude, hey, thanks for banging my wife. Now, how is he supposed to respond? What is he supposed to say? Oh, you're welcome. Anytime, right? So what is Adam 22 doing? He is suppressing his natural urge to have territorial boundaries around his wife, right? Because that's the whole point of being married. There's no point in an open marriage. An open marriage, that's an oxymoron. It doesn't make any sense. It's like an open, closed door. Either the door is open or it's closed, right? It's an oxymoron, right? So they're in this open marriage where she's a porn star and he actually was doing porn with her on OnlyFans, right? They were just doing porn together. And the people in the porn industry told Adam 22 and his wife, hey, by the way, they had a child together. The people, the producers in porn said, hey, man, that's all good that you doing her, but her career could blast off if she started having sex with other dudes. Remember the pillar of salt. The pillar of salt. Go and don't look back. What did he do? So his woman, she looked back. She said, oh man, I could be a superstar. Now he's at a crossroads. He got to make a decision. Am I going to follow her and turn into salt myself? Or am I going to let her go? Somebody got to be here for this kid. But because he was so full of wickedness himself, what did they say in the Wiz? He eased on down the road. He eased on down the road with her, right? And so they turned to a pillar of salt. Yeah, they're pillars of salt. What can they do? They're not good for nothing. This lifestyle is good for nothing. I'm surprised. There's a child in the middle of this. There's a child in the middle of this situation. And nobody's saying, hey, nobody's going to them saying, hey, look, give us the baby. Give us the baby. You're going to do this lifestyle? Give us the baby. Imagine when that kid gets about 12 or 13 and the other kids start saying, yeah, your mom is doing porn, or your mom was doing porn. That ain't going away. The internet is forever, right? Okay, so here's Adam 22.
I'm a professional, I go in, I knock it out. That's what I do.
Hey, I absolutely, I cannot hold it against you, my friend.
Did you see it yet?
I saw a few of the clips, and yeah, I think you put it down. I appreciate you banging my wife.
Okay. Okay, so open marriage. I am totally against open marriage. I am totally against open marriage. So if you are for open marriage, come on up here. Tell me that open marriage is a good thing. I think most of us, I think Wagoda was right. Most of us on this page, that's here right now, we know that open marriage is really, that doesn't make any sense. I haven't seen open marriage really work. I don't even think the poly people do open marriages. I think the poly people, they're poly, but they have some type of boundaries even on their polyness. Whereas open marriage, there's no boundaries, right? I wish I could get Mr. Lucario to come over here, but I can't. I know he would never come over here. We don't have enough traction. We don't have enough activity for somebody like that to come over here, right? Plus, he probably would think, oh, they're going to judge me. Well, I'm not judging you. I'm just merely talking about the results that you're probably going to get. If you do open marriage, you're probably going to have bad results, right? Yeah, I mean, there's no other way you can do it. I mean, look, man, if a car runs on gasoline and you keep putting fruit punch in it, I mean, eventually it's not going to run, right? Then it's going to get all tore up. Everything's going to get all messed up, right? But it'll smell good, right? It won't have that strong gasoline smell. So I just want to, I feel like, matter of fact, let me go over some divorce statistics, right? Because let's talk about divorce. Let's talk about divorce. Why do people get divorced? Why do people get divorced? Let's go over some divorce statistics. All right, why do people get divorced? Right? Divorce statistics. In 2021, a total of 689,308 divorces occurred across the 45 U.S. states that report this statistic. During that same year, 1,985,072 marriages occurred, making the U.S. marriage rate 6 per 1,000 people. 6 people getting married per 1,000. Holy smokes. Far more people get married over the course of each year than get divorced. These divorce statistics show what happens to marriages that end and how couples decide to end them. Now, right? That seems like a lot of marriages, right? And that seems like a lot of divorces, right? But that's not a lot of people getting married. That's not a lot. Over 45 states, that's not a lot of people getting married, right? In a year, right? That's not a lot of people. And that's not a lot of divorces in a year, right? Come on, y'all. Come on. So these numbers are smaller. They're getting smaller. Why? Because there's going to be less divorces, because there's going to be less marriages. There are less marriages. Why are people getting married less? Why? Because of the obligation involved in marriage. Marriage has an innate level of obligation that the people do not want to get involved with. Right? Nobody wants to be involved. Nobody wants to be obligated, right? Not nobody, but most people don't want to be obligated. It says, how many marriages divorce? This is Forbes, by the way. This is Forbes magazine. Highly respected journal, right? How many marriages end in divorce? So what about the famous statistic that half of all marriages end in divorce? That's true. So Forbes says that's true. But only when, here's the condition. But only when it comes to first marriages. Wow. Well, first marriages, almost all the first marriages are going to end, half of them going to divorce, right? Half of which are dissolved. Second and third marriages actually fell at a far higher rate. Okay. When do couples get divorced? When marriages end, usually sometimes past since the wedding. In fact, the average length of a marriage prior to divorce is 8 Years. 8 years. 8. That means people, see, you got to at least do 10 years. That's when you really get to know somebody after 10 years. You're living with them because they can hide the first 10 years. First 10 years, they're not going to fart around you. The first 10 years, you know, they're not going to come in the bathroom when you're in the bathroom, right? You're not going to call them, hey, Juanita, I'm out of toilet paper. Can you bring some toilet paper in here? Right? That don't happen for the first 10 years, right? The wife is always put together no matter when time she comes to bed. She won't let you do nothing to her till she runs to the bathroom and get herself together, right? After the 10th year, man, the wife don't care what you doing, man. If you giving it to her long and strong, man, she don't care. She ain't running anywhere. She ain't leaving nowhere, man. She ain't going nowhere. Me and my wife, man, our house used to be so cold. That little house we lived in was it was so cold, man. We had to finally get a heater put in, but we didn't have a heater. We didn't have the central heating. So she would try to get me to get out of the bed. Well, we did have a heater. I'm sorry, I take that back. We would try to, but the heater, the controls was in the farther part of the house, and neither one of us wanted to get out of the bed to go get it. So she would try to get me to go, and I would try to get her to go. We would we just try to trick each other to go and get out of the bed, man, to go turn on the heater on, right? How long does the divorce take, and how much does it cost? Divorces take time. Contested divorces can take over a year to finalize, although simple divorces can be completed in as little as 3 months. Divorce comes at a big cost, with couples spending an average of $7,000 to dissolve their union. That's just the cost to dissolve it. That ain't, who's going to get, child support, alimony, whatever, right? The assets, whatever. What happens after divorce? Many who are divorced don't give up on the institution of marriage, though. A total of 64% of men and 52% of women get married again after their marriage is ended, right? All right, I think that's basically what I want to go over. I'm trying, Sister Annie. I'm trying, right? But the main thing I'm trying to get across is that whatever you're doing, I'm not a big fan of the poly lifestyle. I understand it. Don't get me wrong. I understand it. Well, Clarence, a lot of people in the Quran had multiple wives. I know. A lot of people in the Bible had multiple wives. I know. I said, but me personally, I'm not a big fan of it. I don't. It's not a requirement of as far as I know, of Islam and Christianity. Is a requirement that you have multiple wives. That is not a requirement, right? There's some instances where that is allowed, but as far as it being a requirement to get to see God's face or get His teaching, that is not a requirement, right? So, and I know myself, I'm pretty much not set up to be in a poly situation. Could I do it? I don't know. If the right people came along and introduced it to me in the right way, who knows what I would do? I'm not going to say it, but I'm saying with me, would I ever push it and say, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do it this way. And then I don't see that ever happening, right? I just got too many other things I want to do. And I know that one woman is going to be a lot of work. Another woman is going to be even more work, right? So I already got enough work with the one woman I got. I don't want to be trying to work on another woman, try to, I always kind of, you never know what's going on. I mean, man, it's easier. The best thing to do, in my opinion, get the right woman. Get the right woman. Get the right woman that's on the same page with you. But Clarence, she might grow. Shout out to Lady Navarre. She might grow and she might get this understanding. She might want to go and do this understanding. Remember, we talked about the pillar of salt. Same thing with Lot's wife. Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt, right? In other words, once she expressed that, she showed that she had that love for that city. You can't take her to the promised land now. You can't, because she's got that in her heart, and she's going to bring that crap into the promised land. So you can't take her there, right? She can't go. She can't be there, right?
She can't go. She'll set up shop, and next thing you know, man, she gonna set up a Sodom and Gomorrah situation over there. So they had to leave her. Okay. Your wife may come to you and say, hey, brother, I've been looking at this stuff on Facebook. I've been looking at this stuff on Instagram, whatever. And I've been really thinking that maybe we should try this to improve our sexual lifestyle. This may occur. What are they telling you? They're the pillar of salt. They're a pillar of salt. Right? Sister Annie said, the way my heart is set up, that's not for me. The way your checking and the way your savings and your checking is set up, that ain't for you, Sister Annie. It really ain't for me either, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know if I could be convinced into doing it. I don't know. I'm being very honest. I probably would turn it down, but I don't know if the right situation got set up for me, could I keep fighting it? I don't know. I don't know. I would hope I would be able to, because I don't see no benefit in having more than multiple women. I don't see no benefit in that. You know what I mean? Sexually, especially at my age, I don't see the benefit in that. Right? I can see the benefit when you're younger. You know, you got more vitality. You running around doing this. Yeah, you got more energy. You know, but you can, and you got more patience to listen to a lot of different conflicting ideologies. Yeah, but man, I'm telling you, man, when you get to a certain age as a man, you just want some peace and quiet. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. All right, I took care of you. I got life insurance. I got this. I got that. I got all these different things to take care of everybody. I've worked hard all my life. Leave me alone. Let me have fun. All right. That's how I am, man. I just want to have fun. Me and my granddaughter, man. I woke up this morning with my granddaughter, and you know, y'all know they got me off right now. They got me. They looking into some stuff with me, right, as far as my medical situation. So they looking into that. So meanwhile, they said, well, just stay home until we'll call you when we want you to come back. So I'm off for a little while right now. But so I'm there in the morning when my granddaughter gets up, right? So man, one morning I was studying. My wife came in and said, hey, study her spelling words with her, because I'm rushing. I don't have time to do it with her. So I turned it into a game, right? Man, she's been trying to make me play that game ever since, right? So we did it this morning, right? I said, you got to find all these rhyming words. So I did the rhyming word game with her. Fall, ball, tall, you know, haul. She got to find rhyming word. Bear, care, dare, hair. You know, she got to find all these rhyming words, right? I give her the scenario. She has to find the word and then spell it, right? So anyway, long story short, that's fun for me, man. That's like, those of you guys that's out there with 10 different women and all of that, that's even more funner for me to sit there with my granddaughter and do that, man. And sometimes when you get to a certain age, man, it's just cool, right? You just cool, right? You just want everybody just leave me alone, right? I did that. I came here, did some work. I went and got some lunch. I said, oh man, my wife likes this. I went and got I got something for my wife. I went up there, gave her some lunch, right? I dropped off some lunch for her, because my wife goes to the school, right? She takes my granddaughter to the school, but her class is so crazy. They dropped all the bad kids in my granddaughter's class. So my wife has to be there to try to help calm the situation down. I told her, I said, man, you should make them pay you. You should get paid. You doing this for free. She said, I know, but she said, man, my granddaughter's there. So, you know, I'm really watching out for her. I'm there because I'm making sure nothing happens with her. But the point was, I said, let me take, since she's going to be up there even after they eat lunch, I said, let me bring her some lunch, right? So I brought my wife some lunch, came back here, rode my bike, did some more work, rode my bike, right? Came back here for y'all. That was a fun day for me, right? When I was younger, that was boring. That ain't nothing. You ain't even do nothing. To me, in my life, that was boring. Because you know what the best thing I got to do? Let me tell you the best thing I got to do today. I got to see and I got to see and get reinforced into my brain how blessed I am. When I went down there on Figueroa, when I went down there on Vermont, when I went down there on Normandy, when I went to all these different streets, right? Down there on Broadway, right? And then you see so many homeless people. You see so many people that are strung out on drugs, right? They just meandering like zombies down there, right? I'm just riding my bike through all this stuff, right? Right? And no person would say, I'm not never even going to go in that vicinity of town, right? But I work there, so I mean, you know, I'm always out there even when I'm in the truck. I'm out there, so I ain't got no problem. But I mean, my point is, when you get to a certain age, it's little things. It's not big things. It's little things, right? You like when you're younger, you think manipulating people, that's power. I got power over this person because I'm manipulating them, right? But when you get to a certain point in your understanding and development, you realize, man, the real power is the ability to stop yourself from doing something that you don't need to be doing and motivating yourself to do something that you should do. That's real power. That's real power. Because once you can motivate yourself to do what you need to do, how can you motivate other people to do what they need to do if you can't even do what you need to do? That's why I trip on these life coaches, man. Your life is all jacked up, and then here you are coaching another person on their life. You a relationship expert, but you ain't got no relationships, right? It's just crazy, man. But YouTube is the only place that the bizarro world that'll work, right? You wouldn't let no mechanic work on your car. Hey, you ever fix a car? Nope. I done broke enough cars, but I ain't never made one work successfully. But here, listen to me. I got a course. I got a class, right? YouTube is the only place that works, right? Right. Vaughn said, thank God for his deliverance. Oh, man. Listen, Vaughn. If he could turn a wretch like me around, he could save anybody. That's why I say there ain't nobody that's unworthy of just the being brought the information. You never know where a person's at. You bring the information to them 6 times, they reject you 6 times. But on that 7th time, something happened, and they open to actually listen to what you're saying. And they turn their whole life around. I done seen it happen in the Nation of Islam. I done seen it happen. Person their whole life get turned around, right? Seen it happen. Sometimes we got to go through some things, right? Sometimes we got such a spirit of rebelliousness that we got to go through some stuff. Through our rebellion, we have to bump our head enough to where we open up the door. And people will say, God is punishing me. How's God punishing you? If God tell you, hey, if you stick your finger in the electricity, you're going to get shocked. And you go and stick your finger in the electricity, what did God already told you what's going to happen? Because he know how electricity works. Right? So that's why he told you, hey, don't do this, right? Just like he told Adam, hey, don't eat from this tree. You can eat from all the other trees, but don't eat from this one. The day you eat from this one, you'll surely die. So God punishing Adam. Oh, it ain't punishing you. This is the situation you put yourself in. I told you what was going to happen if you did that. Right? Right? You don't want to decide to do it. So this is what's going to happen. Told you. Your life of not having no drama just ended because you ate from this tree. Now you're going to have drama. And the real reason why is not so much that you ate from the tree, it's the fact that you rebelled against what I told you that was good for you. And now you got that in your heart now, and that is going to proceed down the line. Oh man, y'all don't want to hear me today, boy. Y'all don't want to hear me today. Vaughn said, that's the beauty of our testimonies. They're so helpful to others who have gone through the same things. Yeah, brother. Yeah. Vaughn got a good testimony. I got a good testimony. Annie got a good testimony. Patrice, Risa, Rico. We got a lot of good testimonies here. I'm sure Lady Navarre got one. I mean, we all got good testimonies around here, man. And we are willing to tell it. Now, we ain't going to give you every tiny little detail, but we'll tell you the basic situation where we let go of God's hand at some point, right? And the results that happen, right? I was watching it today, man. I didn't want to film people because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to capitalize off of their misfortune, right? So I didn't take a camera down there to video all of that. But I mean, definitely, man, it was this really bad scene. It's tragic, man. Tragic are the people I seen. You see kids living with their families out there on the street, man. They wandering around. They trying to find a place to go. It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. Because I'm like, where are these people going? But then I thought about it. I said, maybe they're trying to, find a place to stay, or maybe they got a place to stay, but they got to wait until a certain time before they can go in there. Whatever, man. People got all kind of stuff going on, right? But we are blessed. We truly blessed because we got the choice. People was talking about before. They're talking about the what do they call that? Free will. We got the free will. But why we don't want to do it God's way? Because God, you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have patience. And you're going to have some pain in there. It's going to be a little pain in there, right? But God's teaching, man, you coming from all this wicked way into God's teaching, there's going to be some pain in that transition, right? I hadn't rode a bike in probably 4 years. But when I started riding my bike a little while ago, I knew it was going to be some pain. Now I can ride a bike. I can ride all the way down there, man. That's probably about half a mile. I can ride all the way down there. That ain't no problem now. Catch the hills back. That ain't no problem. But before, holy smokes, I couldn't even ride out of the parking lot out here, right? Boy, I was like huffing and puffing. But I knew I had to go through the huffing and puffing to get to the point now where I could ride a lot farther, walk a lot farther, run a lot farther, right? We don't want to be inconvenienced. We don't want to be inconvenienced, right? Well, I said I was definitely a wretch, undone. I wasn't through being a wretch. But when I came to my senses, God bless my life so much, and I am so grateful to him. I may not be perfect, but I'm striving. You good in our eyes, Vaughn. You good in our eyes, man. Don't worry about it. OG Patrice, you good in our eyes, right? Don't worry about it. Ain't none of us perfect. None of us have made the right decision all the time. How can you make the right decision in a world where it's so evil? This world is evil. It's based on evil pretenses, right? It's always some manipulation tactic. Either manipulate you through your desires, either manipulate you through your hunger, manipulate you through your sex drive, manipulation through you wanting to just feel good with the drugs. They manipulate you just through you want to associate, you want to be, you want to have the respect and admiration and desire of other people for you. You want that. And so people will try to use that against you to try to get you to do different things. Uh-oh, what did I do now?
You ain't doing anything. I'm just trying to speak right quick and, say hello.
Hey, girl, you know what? I said I'm gonna talk about Patrice's favorite subject. Her favorite subject is Polly. I'm gonna talk about her favorite subject.
God. Yeah,
I do want to ask you a question though, Patrice. Patrice, I did want your because we talked about the poly lifestyle before, and I think you made it clear your position on that. But this open marriage situation, have you ever seen that situation work out, or have you ever seen that? I haven't, so I'm just telling the truth about that. Have you ever seen it work out?
I've heard of some working out, but I don't know anybody personally that I know of. But I know someone that knows someone basically that allegedly lived right, that allegedly lived this open lifestyle, but I don't know them personally myself. But the thing is because you really don't know, because you're not living with these people, and if you're not under that tutelage of a lifestyle yourself, you really don't know what people really going through and their angles are. When they come around you, or if they are around you, then you only seeing a representative of what they want you to see. You know what I mean? That's just like with people that live poly lives. It's the same. It's like when you around them, they want you to make it seem like they, portray and make it seem like that it's all perfect and everybody's getting along with everybody well, and nobody is disrespecting each other, and everybody respect the boundaries and respect the rules and regulations that come with that lifestyle. But if you're not living with them, you really don't know. And I don't care what anybody says in an open marriage or a poly, when emotions come into play in those situations, it changes the narrative, because you only can suppress and hide that for so long.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Because things start to usually happen, jealousy, and that's just a natural emotion you experience with someone that you love. If you feel like that person that you love is giving more attention to that next person, there's a natural emotion of that. You only could suppress that for so long, in my humble opinion. There's usually going to be conversations. There's usually going to be arguments. There's usually going to be some incidents that end up happening. I have never personally known people that has been into swinging or poly that have not had issues. Me personally.
Right.
Now, I got friends that have friends, and like I said, they know them. I don't know them, but they try to make it seem like, oh, well, it's all good, and they've been married for 20 years, and they've been, open for 10 or 15, whatever. And if it's good for them, or what it is for them, that's fine. But people don't leave marriages for different reasons, other than just the fact that they both are swingers or poly or open. They don't leave for other reasons. They don't leave for finances. Sometimes they don't leave for children. If they got businesses together, it all depends on the tie that binds them, other than just the lifestyle, right? So I think that it's a lot of nuances that a lot of times we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, in my humble opinion. Like, your boy that's living a poly life that got the YouTube channel, your boy has been being exposed lately for some of the
Come on, Kevin Wesley.
Yeah, for some of the nefarious partying he been doing at Dwight Howard's house. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't heard that.
Oh yeah. The guy that was his friend that he's beefing with now, a couple females have exposed him, and Dwight Howard's ex-wife or ex-baby mama, has said she saw Kevin Wesley at one of Dwight Howard's freak off parties. Oh yeah. So, and yeah, and the ex-friend that he's into it with now saying that, yeah, Kevin was acting a little questionable. So, and I didn't know that Kevin Wesley actually used to be Dwight Howard's personal assistant.
I didn't know that either.
So yeah, it's been a lot of things that
explains a lot.
Well, you know me, I be getting the gossip. Yeah. You know, I ain't the one to gossip, but I be getting the gossip. You know, I be getting the.
You ain't heard that from me.
You ain't heard it from me, but you know, yeah. So, it's a lot. It's a lot of things that are now being exposed by people that live that lifestyle. And I told you stories of the people that I personally knew that lived that lifestyle, whether it was swinging, whether it was poly, because to me, swinging is pretty much open. You sex who you want to sex, and if you got rules or regulations or agreements, a lot of times people break those. They break those promises. They break those rules. They break those boundaries. They break, the agreements, and somebody end up getting hurt. I personally know a young lady that tried to do the poly with her husband, and two situations. One situation, they let the young lady into their marriage, and the husband ended up dumping the wife and keeping the younger woman. Then another one, they end up dumping the husband, and the two women stayed together. So listen, people think that it is just that easy. And I think now, especially in our culture, for some reason, a lot of Black people are making an excuse for wanting to have these type of relationships. Men want to do the poly thing because I think they want to have a legitimate, or what they think is a legitimate reason to have multiple women. But they're not really looking at everything that really goes along with that lifestyle. And it's so funny because they want to have the multiple women, but they don't want the woman to have multiple men. Go figure that. You see what I'm saying? So, and unfortunately, these women are geeing for it because for whatever reason, their low self-esteem or whatever, they're feeling like, well, I'd rather have a half a man or a piece of man than no man at all. And if I got to share him, if he gonna cheat, I might as well be there openly, right there while you doing it. I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's different, with a lot of this that's going on. But when you mixing in also with that lifestyle, you're also mixing, coming from the LGBTQIA plus community as well, then you're mixing that into the picture. Oh my God. Now that's a whole nother level of something you got to worry about as well in the relationship or marriage. Because if one person is bi or whatever they are, and they're dealing with multiple people that may be that, and then you may have a heterosexual person in there, then you're making everybody's at risk. I really don't think they're thinking this thing through. They getting on these platforms, they creating these podcasts, it's making people think that the lifestyle is easy to live, and it's not. And now certain people, like I said, your boy Kevin Wesley, is people being exposed because outside of his party lifestyle, he doing some other stuff too. He doing some of them FO parties, some of them Diddy type parties with the Dwight Howard. Okay. Allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly.
Allegedly, Patrice.
For the legal purposes and to save your platform. But I'm just telling you what, is going on in these YouTube streets through the YouTube grapevine. Okay. Maybe these people is something else. I mean, I just, it's not that simple. It's not that, cut and dry. It's not that cookie cutter. It is edges and grooves and lumps and bumps And it's a lot of things that go along with, people don't realize back in our culture, in African culture or any culture that had that lifestyle, it was different. They can afford to have multiple lives. Those kings were wealthy that had multiple concubines and things of that nature, different wives, and it was different culturally. And they think that they can bring that aspect to it without realizing bringing the other aspect of the culture and where that come from. And
Well,
even go ahead.
let's talk about that. So I agree with you. So I just want to put it out there on the table that when they did something like that, they knew, they still understood to have a responsibility to this woman, right? They just have her come in and then send her back home. No, they had to take care of the woman. They're going to take care of this woman. So there's still a responsibility there when we did it back then. And there's multiple reasons, right? Husband died, right? You know, it was a common practice that if your brother's wife, your brother died in war, you had to take his wife on. That was a common practice then, right? You took his wife and children because the wife back then, unfortunately, women couldn't work, right? So you would just starve to death, or the children be on the street or whatever, right? So you would just take your brother's wife in. You just take your brother's wife on. So I mean, we had a lot of cultural things that drove that understanding, as opposed to now. That's not the case, right? A woman can go out and get a job. I think you got a job, right? You can go out and get a job, right? You can do that.
Exactly. Yeah, so, it's different.
Yeah, it's a different situation here. So to do it in this construct, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. But like I said, I know you're the same like me. We're not judging anyone, but we're just saying, hey, this probably ain't the best road to go down. But hey, if you gonna do what you want to do, right? We just got to see how long these things gonna last, because everybody's got YouTube. Not everybody, excuse me. Some of these people have YouTube pages, right? Oh yeah, the poly lifestyle's great, right? Kevin, the poly lifestyle's great. Even your best friend Polite used to have a poly. Yeah, poly lifestyle's great, right? It's great. I can do whatever I want to do until it ain't, right? The poly lifestyle to me is like a heart attack, right? Your heart is great until it ain't, right? Until that time where it don't tick like it's supposed to. Then what? But by the time that happens, you got a whole serious crisis on your hands, right? That's how a lot of this stuff is. Now, let me ask you something, Patrice. Do you agree or disagree? And I want to know why either way. Do you agree or disagree that when somebody brings up a poly lifestyle in a marriage, right? They bring up the word open marriage, because usually people don't bring up this poly lifestyle thing until they've been in a marriage for a long time. Typically, it's very it's not usual that they start out poly. They start that way. Typically, in a monogamous situation, and for whatever reason, one of the parties decides, hey, guess what? I want to try this poly thing. I'm interested in that. Will you participate in this with me? Now, I'm going to say that happens typically after they've been in a monogamous situation most of the time. Is it your understanding, or what do you think? Do you think that somebody can want that and try to introduce that into the marriage? They get rebuffed by the partner, right? The other person says, "No, I don't want to do nothing like that." Do you think they're going to be able to say, "Well, okay, I'll just leave it alone"? Or do you think they're going to continue, and at some point they're going to just do it on their own? What is your feelings about that?
From my hearing friends that have indulged in whether it's the poly or the swinging, they usually started out in a monogamous relationship or marriage, right?
Right.
And then a partner will bring it up to the other partner to whatever they want to say, spice up the relationship or marriage, or do something and one partner may be against it and may fight it for a long time until they either give in or get curious about it, because the other person's spouse or mate will tell them, come on, well, let's just go to the swingers club and just check it out. Let's just talk about it. Or let's just go just go to the poly club, you know, where other couples and sit down and talk to them and let's just see, you know, and they all make it look really, really good because they got a lot of those places in Vegas. When I lived there, they have they got poly clubs, they got swingers clubs and all of that, right?
You're kidding, Patrice.
So yeah, they got anything you want and whatever you into, they got him. Listen, I was invited to so many porn parties. Oh my God. When I lived there. So yeah. And don't get me wrong, I met some people, and when I met them, you know, just outwardly from when I met them, they were cool people. But and I actually almost took a job working in the accounting department for a porn company in Vegas when I first moved there. I almost took the job, and I would have, listen, they were paying good money, but I would have had to sign an NDA. It was a bunch of stuff that goes along with that. And I was just like, is this something I really want to do? I mean, because these are these people's careers, right? Like this is what they do for a living.
Yeah,
so I was like, man,
Patrice, we're gonna put you in that. We're gonna start you in the accounting department. Don't worry. We're gonna put you.
Well, I wasn't gonna do anything but pay them, just like what I do, you know, currently in my current job.
You know? But I can see how they try to get women to come in from all different directions.
Exactly. Who knows? Exactly. Who knows? if it would have started that way. Well, you know, she used to work in accounting, but you know, she moved on up. She moved on up the ladder, right? But yeah, I was like, nah, I better not do that. So I was grateful. I ended up getting a job with Caesars Entertainment, so that was all good. But I met, you know, being in entertainment, period, whether, you know, when I was doing my singing there or whatever, it was regular people in the porn industry that came to those shows. You know, everybody loves to be entertained, no matter what type of entertaining it is. You could see anything from dancers to singers to porn stars to, you know, to musicians to whatever in Vegas, depends on what you're into. So they will come to some places where I was performing. And of course, I mean, they would invite you to the porn Grammys. I used to get tickets and give them away all the time, you know, just that's not my thing. But so I think that it get introduced in those many, many ways. And then eventually sometimes, especially if the male is putting a lot of pressure on the female, she'll usually give in because one, either she don't want to lose the man or the relationship or the marriage, or two, she goes and experiment and she likes it, you know, and then they'll get off into, I've seen all those scenarios, you know, with people, but all the ones that I say that I ever saw, they never worked, they never lasted. And the most detrimental ones was the one where, you know, people got murked, like seriously. So that was the swing. That was the swingers. And listen, and you're taking ordinary people that have lived a life, been married for years, got children or whatever. They're regular smugglers. People live regular smuggler lives with regular smuggler jobs. And you are introducing them into a whole nother world. And these whole other worlds sometimes comes with drugs and alcohol sometimes, you know, because let me tell you, a lot of the women, especially them for the first time, used to have to take ecstasy to even be able to indulge in it. See, people don't realize how deep that rabbit hole go in those lifestyles. You can't always just think you can do it mind over matter. Sometimes you have to have something to build up the nerve to do it. Whether take some drink, take some pills.
Let's stay right there because I want to get back to that because that's definitely something I want to talk about, where people have to do different things to put their mind, alter their mind, so that they will be able to actually participate in something like that. But
and I'm sorry for using the P word. Sorry about that. I forgot.
You in trouble. You in trouble because
you know I'm on. Listen, you know I'm on. Listen, I
I'm
really
being
be
good.
forgetting because I'm on a platform now where we're not censored, and I love it. So we can say all those words.
I'm being good. I'm being
Hey
good.
y'all.
Hey,
Hey,
sis, how you doing?
I said she does not see me saying that in the chat. Let me come up here.
I saw it. I didn't say nothing. I didn't know if you was gonna come up here. So I said, all right, I ain't gonna say nothing. But I don't know if Patrice saw you, but I ain't gonna say nothing. All right. How you
sorry.
doing? How you doing, sis?
I'm good. I'm good. This topic, ooh wee,
Yeah.
ooh wee.
I'm glad I got the two people that I thought that would be the least interested in. I thought y'all two would be the last two that come up here on this topic.
No,
But you know what?
I actually enjoy talking about it because I want people to see that and know that other side. So when these young ears are hearing it, I don't want these young ears to think that it's just that easy breezy of a lifestyle to get into. It's not.
Good point. Or to maneuver through it. It's probably easy to get into it, but to maneuver through
But
it and then walk
hard to get out of too.
yeah, it's hard to walk out of, hard to maneuver and hard to walk out of. But Sister Annie, what you got to say? What do you think about what we talking about?
Yeesh. So well, first of all, to my future husband, I'm not with this at all. So don't even bring it to me.
I don't care if your brother passed away. It's not happening.
Yeah, see, my husband with somebody else. I'm not in agreement. But so I was trying to think, like, okay, so the obvious reasons why it's a good thing. So I'm speaking about this being a good thing, not from someone whose faith says that when they get married, it's a man and a woman.
Right.
They're more so, and I'm not saying my morals and my faith say that that's not for me. Right. So like my heart wouldn't be able to handle it. So I'm probably, as much as somebody say, oh yeah, I'm secure, I'm not going to be wanting to see my husband with somebody else. And I know he's not going to want to be seeing me with somebody else. Because if I ever did something like this, it's going to be beneficial for both of us. It's going to be on both sides. But so I'm thinking, okay, so we could do the obvious, like why someone would be attracted to something like this from a physical standpoint. There's
Right.
some men that, may, when you're being intimate, get it right once they're in. There's some that do a really good job at foreplay. So, okay, the benefits sexually with that, we can see that. Financially, there's some men that may not be as much as a go-getter and ambitious and a risk taker and good with business or landing a really good job. So financially, you may have one man that may not be as much of a go-getter as the other one. Okay, financially, you could see a balance, why that would be attractive. Maybe taking care of, most of the time it's women, and I know that may sound a funny way, but it's just the reality of it. Because if you come in my house and it's not clean, they wouldn't be looking at my husband. They're going to be looking at me as to why it's not clean. Right. But when you just think about just like monogamous relationships, the ups and downs of that, just trying to please, understand, satisfy, that's a lot in itself. Can you imagine if I'm trying to be and do that for two men? And then where does it stop? Like, is it just two if I decide I want three? You know what I'm saying? Because maybe when I travel, I want this one there, like I think that once you open the door to something, what it can do is to have you keep pushing the limits, pushing. And then you wind up doing something that you can't even get yourself out of mentally and sometimes physically. People's feelings, people do really not so nice things when they are frustrated, not happy with a situation, when they get envious, when they get jealous. And to open yourself up to multiple people being that way in your life, that just is not attractive to me. Like I said, spiritually, it doesn't work for me. But just me thinking about the potential danger that I could be in because someone decided they couldn't handle it anymore, or me not being able to handle it anymore. it's just not worth me. What could potentially be an attractive feature about that, it's not worth it. It wouldn't be worth it. And I wouldn't want to, because, you know, you start favoring one person and you got to feel bad because you leave another person out because maybe you get more enjoyment out of one. Oh, that's too much. That's too much emotionally to have to deal with. Mm-mm.
Yes. And so
I agree.
So I got 2 questions for you. I got 2 questions for you, Sistine, based on what you were saying. So the first question is, does the number of husbands matter? Like, is 2 too many or is 10 too many? I mean, does the number actually matter, or is it just the fact that you just have to deal with multiple people?
I mean, 2 is a lot to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, 2 would definitely be more manageable than 10 because, okay, this is gonna sound funny. But I'm the thought is if it's something about me that 10 men would want to make sure that they, you know, get a hold of, I'm gonna be stretched out real thin. Okay. So that would be a lot for me.
Definitely.
But no, but for me to be the woman that I would want to be to a man, it would be hard for me to be able to be that for 10 different men in the time that they need it, because I want to be available, you know, for their needs, and there's just no way I could do that.
Right.
With
you
that
can't
many
be a
men.
complete woman. You can't be a complete woman for 10 men, and you can't be a complete man for 10 women. It's just no way you can do it. You can only because like I was trying to tell you guys, relationships are built on utility at the base, and then everything stacks on top of that. And so, but the baseline is going to be the utility. What are we doing for each other? What can we do for each other? Right. So, but in 10 men, you're not going to be able to do, because you're going to have a favorite in there. Right. Just like they say, oh, you shouldn't have no favorite kids. Come on, man. We all got that favorite kid. We got that kid that don't give us no problems, that do what we say, right? That favorite kid, right? So, I mean, you're going to have a favorite out there, right? So that's going to be another thing and then the other people, you would have to put them through watching you deal with your favorite differently than you deal with them, because I guess the natural thinking of when you're in a poly situation is that you're going to treat everybody the same. Everybody's going to get treated the same across the board, but that's not how it is. Like, remember, like Patrice was talking about in Africa, everybody doesn't get treated across the board. The first wife, that's the boss. The first wife is the boss. She decides how things are going to go, who gets what, how things are going to get, how the resources are going to get subsidized down the line. And then the second wife is under her as far as, and on down the line. So
we see how Nature Boy tried to do that, and we see the end result of that, right? And he's still in prison right today, and it resulted in all of them started, having relations with each other, and then they started passing along STDs to each other. See how that go? Oh, it was amazing. It's a few of them got the H virus, and not the 3-digit one, but the other one, the 5 or the 6 letter, whatever, HER one. Yeah. Man. So when people think it's that easy, trust me, it's not. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. It usually never work out, and I was watching this podcast one day with this poly couple. It was a guy, at the time, he only had 2 wives, and they was looking to bring a third one in. And the 2 was sitting there, and one of the ladies was like, yeah, they was making you think like everything was so peachy. And then she says, oh, I remember one day, because I love candy, so he would bring me my favorite candies on this day when it's my day, and then he would bring her, the other wife, the flowers that she loved on this day. And she said, and I found myself getting really, really jealous because he was bringing her flowers, and she's like, and then I have to think about it, I don't even like flowers. See, it wasn't even the matter that was the flowers, it's the matter that she deep down inside, she's really jealous of the other woman. But see, that's the part that they don't want to deal with, the true emotion of it as a human being, when someone you love and you only want to be with is with someone else. And that's just a natural human emotion to have, to be jealous. It is a natural thing.
Yeah. All right, y'all. What do y'all think? Let's start wrapping up. Vaughn and Risa, why don't y'all hit the link, and then once y'all do that, we can start wrapping up. But let me start wrapping. Let's start wrapping up now, because we got some stuff we got to discuss. All right. So let's do some closing remarks, y'all. Let's get up out of here. What y'all think?
Well, I don't have much to say, but I would say, like I said, I'm totally against it. So when I get married, if y'all see my husband with it, no, I'm not with it.
What about open marriage, Sister? What about open marriage?
No, because then I don't need to get married. Because if I'm saying that we have that kind of flexibility, I don't want to get paperwork tied up into it. So let's just be. Yeah, if we just doing that, then let's just do that. Yeah. But I'm thinking, like, in either of those types of relationships, I would not want to treat, like, so say if I had two husbands, I don't want to treat them both the same. If I'm treating y'all both the same, what I need both of y'all there for? So there would be a difference, right? But I'm not willing to hedge my bet on how I would show up in a relationship where there's two men. That doesn't, it's not worth, whatever thing could be enjoyable for me for a moment, it's not worth what I feel like would be the bigger headache and the more long lasting effects of that. I would not want to, I'm pretty sensitive to, other people's feelings, and I don't want it to be where with my husband that I'm having to compromise that because of someone else. It would be really hard for me just thinking about it. It's hard to even think about. I would not want my husband to take second seat to any other man. So, but that's my thought. But I'm glad you did bring this up, because we can't act like that this is not something that's out there. We can't act like it's not something that people could see as being something attractive or something beneficial to them, and they not think about at least all of it. Don't just think about the 5 minutes, the 10 minutes, the hour, the 2 hours. Think about the life effect or the lifetime effect that this could have on your life and the kids around you. Oh my God. Why ain't even talk about the kids. That's even worse. I wouldn't even want to be an example of that type of behavior for any child. So, but I'm glad that you brought it up.
Yeah, and I'll just piggyback on that and just say, especially the kids you're right, that they're an important factor. And because of adult selfish reasonings, they're throwing the kids into something that they didn't ask for. And they're forcing that lifestyle, naturally gets forced through that tradition upon the child. When you're not leaving the child doesn't have a choice in the matter because they are minor. And to me, that can be a part of some type of grooming that you're doing to your child to groom them to that lifestyle that they probably wouldn't normally be accustomed, used to, or even want to do. When you bring in children into it, you're bringing them into a space where you're not giving them a choice but to deal with the situation that they didn't ask to be there for. So I think that doesn't get thought about because of adults' own selfish reasoning, their own selfishness in that, their own self-loathing, their own selfishness, self-absorbing, awareness, self-sabotaging of those type of relationships and the impact that it can have on children, possibly. You're forcing it.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I was about to open up another rabbit hole, but let's get on up out of here. Hey, any other last words, ladies?
I would just say to young adults, you can't tell them what to do. They're gonna live life and experience things. Just be careful if that's something you choose to get yourself into. Try to be very safe. Be very transparent. Practice safe sex, because you never know when someone decides, even in those type of relationships, people still step outside of those type of relationships. I'm telling you, because
Or
they have fetishes. There still could be unfaithfulness in those marriages, and there could be disloyalty in those marriages. So I would say just know what you're getting yourself into. Be careful. Know what you're dealing with, who you're dealing with. Vet the people thoroughly that you're dealing with. Look into their background and their childhood and see if there's any type of abuse, if there's any type of situation that happened to them and going on with them, as to why that you want to choose to engulf yourself in that type of relationship. That's all I would advise the younger generation, or anybody for that matter, that's even thinking about it.
That's a good point. Good point. Anything to add, Sister Annie?
Nope. Go ahead, because you're trying to like stretch it out even more, Brother Clan. So.
All right, ladies.
All right.
I will put
See
you
you,
down.
Jack.
I'll put you down. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
All right.
I will put you guys down.
All right.
Love you with this. All right. That was Sister Annie and Patrice. All right. Those are two I didn't think they were going to even come up here. Wow. Okay, Vaughn, we waiting on you. Okay, there's Vaughn. All right, so we waiting on you, Risa. So whenever you get there. All right, what do y'all think about today's show? We tried to cover a lot of stuff. I talked to Rico. Rico said, "Yeah, I'll stop by for a minute," but Rico can easily get himself caught up with the missus, right? Easily. I had to tell Rico sometimes, Rico, just shut up and just do what she said. but Rico, Rico's one of them type of dudes, man. He got to feel it to believe it, right? So he can get caught up with it. But anyway, we try to give y'all some information about the poly life. I tried to give you some information about the open marriage thing, because every time I see a dude do these open marriages, man, they think they're so smart and they think they got it all under control, and then they have to bust the whole thing up, right? So there's a way to enter into a marriage. There's a way to do the work that needs to maintain a marriage. And then there's a way, if you decide that you want to get out of a marriage, there's a way that you're going to have to exit the marriage. The best way to exit a marriage is in a casket, right? That's the way we all want to exit a marriage, but sometimes it don't work out that way, right? You gotta exit a marriage because, hey, man, I keep telling y'all about the pillar of salt. Sometimes a person turns into a pillar of salt. What do we mean by a pillar of salt? I mean, they have with the Quran call it a fixed position. They had a fixed position. They're fixed. They want to do this poly thing, and if you ain't gonna do it with them, they're gonna do it behind your back, right? You either gonna do it with them or they're gonna do it without you, right? And so once you see how much they really want to do that, they're like a pillar of salt, man. They're in a fixed position. They're not gonna turn. That's what they want to do. Charge full steam ahead. The only thing that they need to know is, are you going to participate with them, or do they got to get you a stand-in? That's pretty much all they want to know, right? So when you come to that situation, that realization, it's hard because you love this person. You love them, right? You got all your kids with this person. You got your vehicle with this person. Got your vehicle with this person. You got a house with this person. You may have investment with this person. And now I hear this person telling you, I don't want just you. I want to go be with somebody else too, right? That's hard. That's tough to deal with. No, she's not here, Patrice. So that's tough to deal with. So this is why I'm saying, well, put it like this. I'm gonna repeat what Patrice and Annie was saying. You got to think about all of these. It's a lot of different factors involved when you start bringing multiple people in. It's a lot of factors just when you just doing one person. Okay, we all here. Everybody's all here. Okay, it's a lot of factors when you just being in a monogamous relationship. Now you got to go in and multiply all of that, and it's a lot of plate spinning, right? You never know what one person might do. Now you got two people, right? That you got to figure out a way to trust two people. It's hard to trust one person. Now you got to trust two people to trust that they're not going to go out and get themselves involved in some other type of shenanigans out there and bring something home that ain't never leaving, right? Or get somebody pregnant or whatever, right? Or get pregnant by someone else. You just, like I said, man, tread slowly. I'm not against
the poly lifestyle. I'm against open marriage. I am against open marriage. I'm not against the poly lifestyle, but I know it's not for me. But if you can make it work for yourself, okay, but there's a lot to consider there. A lot to consider there. I'm definitely not for the open marriage situation. All right, y'all, let's oh well, she was just here. She dipped for a second. All right, y'all, let's get up out of here. Arshawn said, I've been trying to say hello for an hour, but I got a lot of interruptions. Have a good night, y'all. Shout out to Arshawn, man. I didn't see you if you was out there, man, but shout out to you, man. You always welcome to hit that link. All right, okay, y'all, we're gonna get up out of here. Let's do a wrap up real quick. And the last thing I want to say before we go, we just wanted to show you guys. Also, I was talking to you about when I was down there on Figueroa and all that. You got a lot to be thankful for in your life. If you're watching me now, you got a lot to be thankful for. So go ahead and be thankful, right? I'm not saying, you got to get on your knees every time, drive for 2 seconds, pull the car over and pray, drive for 2 seconds, pull the car over and pray. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying just the remembrance in your mind that God, man, God is good. You can just say, like I did when I was on that bike, I was like, God, man, God is really good, man. Whew. Because that could be me. Man, a bump on the head, that could be me out here living in a tent under the freeway. That could be me. That could be you. Right? So let's just thank God and ask him to, keep us in a situation where we keep our mind together and his presence, his energy around us, keep that be like a hedge, man, where most of this evil that's out here would just kind of find its way around us. All right, y'all, let's get to it. Let's get to the rundown, man. By the way, if you haven't already subscribed to Critically Drinking, man, get on over there and subscribe to Critically Drinking, man. That is a good channel, man. They don't always agree with me, as y'all see, but, man, I love the fact that they can lay the case out. I like when people can stand on their square. Even though I may not agree with them, they can stand on their square. All right, okay, the chat is definitely where it's at. The chat, we had a good chat today. Always do, because why? Because we have people in our chat that good mods, and also we got snipers, and we got our resident sniper, Risa Neal, man. Holy smokes. And I thank her because, man, without her, and even Vaughn and Annie and the other people in the chat, man, but definitely when you got a sniper in there, man, the people, her reputation is so solid, man, out there, and people just don't come over here, man. They just know better than to come over here and play, and so we don't have to worry about that. So me as the person on the chat, shout out to Bolo TV. If you haven't already subscribed to Bolo TV, go on over there and subscribe to Bolo TV, man. Go check him out, man. Now remember all them scriptures I said here. Go on over to Bolo TV in the Village and get them right. All right, Risa, I see you back there. So everybody's present, counted for. All right, so I just wanted us to understand. Arshawn said, I stand on a triangle. I'm always 1 point short of a solid square, right? Well, man, you know what I'm saying? Stand on whatever you stand on, man. If you standing on it, stand on it in truth. You know what I mean? Because when the people come to try to refute you, if you're standing on truth, you're standing on truth. All right. So everybody's here. So we're gonna close up shop. Shout out to the chat. The chat's where it's at. Very solid performance from the chat. Very, very solid from the chat. By the way, if you haven't already subscribed to Bolo TV in the Village, what is you doing? Get on over there and subscribe to Bolo TV in the Village, man. Check them out. Well, what's gonna happen when I get over to Bolo TV in the Village? You gotta be a Christian. You gotta be a Christian. No, they're not gonna do you like that. They just gonna go through that book with you, man. And sometimes they don't go through the book. It's just a common sense, but it's just a good vibes, good people, and they are based out of that book. So don't get it twisted, right? They're not gonna let you come up in there with your own little program, but they will definitely try to help you using that book. So and everybody's pretty much got a good heart over there. Well, not pretty much. I haven't seen anybody over there with any malintent. So it's a good place to go just to get some. If you want the word, and you come over here, and we got silly people like Rico
You know what I'm saying? And myself. Well, if you go over there, man, they you know, they got Brother Bolo and then Lyric and a lot of other people, Lady Novoa, a lot of other people over there that you know, that maybe walk through them scriptures with you. All right, y'all. Let's move on. Who was on stage today? Who was on stage? We had a small stage today. We had Sister Annie. What did y'all think about Sister Annie? Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm coming up here. All right, I ain't gonna long stroke. I'm coming up there. Patrice saying bad words. I'm coming up there. It wasn't me. I was being good because Patrice got in trouble this time. I didn't get in trouble this time. It was Patrice. All right. But how does Sister Annie do today? Very solid as always, man. Very solid performance as always. I love when the sisters come up here because I can ask them. And, you know, these ain't silly sisters, right? They're very intelligent. So I can have a long conversation with them and not feel like, oh, man, you know, the conversation dipped off. No. That's why I love when the sisters like some of Patrice and Annie come up here. And even Risa, you know, when they come up here, we can ask them questions, you know, in the conversation just keeps on going. So, but how did she do today? Very solid performance. What about Patrice? What about OG Patrice? She came up here. Very solid performance, right? Two sisters I didn't think was going to come up here, man. We're talking about poly, right? When the last time we were talking about poly with Patrice? It's just people, they just greedy. Right? Like, okay, Patrice probably ain't going to come up here for this one. But, hey, she came up here. But made some real good points. And I'm glad she said the last thing that she said, man. Either you're going to be either practice real safe sex or abstinence, right? That's really, if you're a young person, man, sex will always be on the table. What you need to do is get your life together, understand where you going, what kind of person are you, what you thinking about, where you going. Why would a woman want to follow you in your life? Why would you follow another woman? Why would you walk hand in hand with some woman somewhere if you guys ain't going in the same direction, right? How you gonna go in the same direction, right? You ain't. So you only want to be walking with somebody walking in the direction you walking, right? These are the things I want. They're that way. But this person want to walk that way and it's all downhill and all they want and they want a stroller. No. The way I'm walking, man, it's some hills, it's some peaks you got to climb to get to where we're trying to get to. But when we get to the valley, of love, man, nothing but green pastures as far as you can see. Anyway, what do y'all think about Patrice? What do y'all think about Patrice? Very solid performance as always. Very solid, very strong. And of course, Vagoda, man, came in. Thank God for Vagoda is still able to, you know, communicate. And he's not got caught up in a situation that unfortunately surrounds him. But shout out to Vagoda. I'm going to set up something with Vagoda where we can go over all this stuff because he wants to talk about, and of course he would want to talk about the stuff that's going on because it's current, right? So anyway, we will talk to him. Okay, y'all, that's it. Today is Tuesday, maybe Thursday, maybe something on Thursday because I'm off. So maybe something Thursday, definitely Sunday, maybe something Saturday even, right? We will see. All right, y'all, that's it. Look for us on Thursday. We'll see what's going on. All right, y'all, peace.